we pray, kneeling low, hear what we say. Freedom calls in every tone. Faith is built on hearts of stone. Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp, they cut right through. Real talk for the soul's appeal. Prayers rise up the wounds they heal. Lift our voices to the sky, a righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down, for the Father wears the crown. Each step brings another fight. Breaking chains, we're seeking light. Voice of power won't be tamed. With His love, we're never ashamed. Lift our voices to the sky, a righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down, for the Father wears the crown. From the ashes we shall rise. Hope is found deep in our eyes. Every word a battle cry. With the Father none deny.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. Goodness gracious. My voice a little scratchy today. I was at the game yesterday, and yeah, I think I almost kind of lost my voice, going crazy. First day, I don't even really want to talk about football today, but I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I hope all is well with you guys, man. I hope you enjoyed the weekend. It was a football weekend, huge. Oh my goodness, man. Hey, I had a good time last week, man. I needed the little vacay. I was down in Atlanta, got a chance to link up with Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels, got a chance to link up with my guy Jason from the J Whip podcast. We did lunch on one of those days last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Thursday. But it was good. It was good to get a chance to, chop it up and break bread with those folks, man. But I did miss you guys, man. I missed you all, man, and I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I really, really do, man. We got a couple of things to get into. I got a couple of stories I want to get into today. And I know, Leslie. I know. I know. I was on a plane, coming back last night from Atlanta, and I was watching it at the airport. It was just like, oh my gosh, man. And I couldn't stay up and finish it. So I had to watch the highlights this morning, and yeah, very disappointed, man. But I will say this, that was probably the AFC Championship matchup. Those guys will definitely see each other again. Derrick Henry will not fumble like that again. That won't happen. And he had a heck of a ball game, man. Goodness gracious. Man, great fun-filled weekend of football. Great opportunity to kind of go hang out, chop it up with the fam. And hey, as you can see, I'm back at home. Glad to be home. Glad to see the wife. I hadn't seen my son, but my dog, I did get a chance to chop it up with him yesterday. So yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. But we got a we got a good show today. And I'm thinking I may open it up, for call-ins today for my regulars. We'll see, how things go as we progress, in today's show. I know you guys seen the thumbnail, you seen the title, and we're gonna get into it. But I want to make sure before I do that, I want to make sure I show some love, to my folks. And let me show some love to Eric Smith kicking things off with the $3 super sticker. Appreciate you, brother. God bless you, man. Appreciate you supporting the channel. And shout out to Redefined Queen, Lori Ottison. Appreciate you pulling up. And Zephyr, really, really sorry to hear that you had an emergency surgery last week. And you got this zipper up your abdomen right now. This what's wild, man. But glad to hear that you are okay and that you are on the mend. Let's make sure that we keep her lifted up in prayer for a quick and speedy recovery. Zephyr, rest up, rest up, rest up. We'll keep you lifted up though. But appreciate you pulling up this morning as always. What's up, Marla? How you doing this morning? Hope all is well, and hopefully my voice will improve as we go. I hadn't spoken to anybody this morning. I got in late last night, and you know how that goes. By the time you wind down, and it was late before I got up, and then I got up this morning because I wanted to be here for you guys. So bear with me. We're gonna get through it. I feel fine. Just I think I might have overdid it yesterday at the Bucks Falcons game yesterday. I might have overdid it today with the yelling. In an unfortunate loss, Cool missed the field goal. I was like, man, we 0 for 2. Sheesh. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Goodness gracious. What's up, Hunter? How you doing this morning, brother? Hope all is well. He kicks things off with the Bible verse. So we're going to read that real fast. We got, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalms chapter 23, verse 4. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. What's up, B? B says she slept in all week last week. Okay. I hear that. I hear that. I tried to sleep in, but my sleep in is like 6 in the morning. What's up, Oscar? How you doing? What up, LJ? What's going on? LJ says she's looking forward to her cruise. I can dig it. What's up, Carol? How you doing this morning? John Doe in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you. Cool Ramon in the building. Shout out to you. What's up, Michelle? How you doing this morning? Hope all is well. Appreciate you. What up, Steve Edminster? Oh, look at are you coming to gloat today? Nah, that was a heck of a ball game, man. We'll see y'all again. We'll see y'all again. I think that's going to be the AFC Championship matchup, man. That was a heck of a ball game, man. Goodness gracious. What's up, Donald? How you doing, man? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Toy Mafia in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. JJ O'Hara in the building. All right. We got is that Tiana Bennett? Appreciate you. Grand Rising from Mississippi. Appreciate you pulling up this morning, sister. Hope all is well. All right. Who else we got up in here? All right. Okay. All right. What's up, Big Job Ford? I see you. Okay. What's up? I'm scrolling through. What's up, Amber Young? We got Angela Montgomery in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me highlight her. Says, have a marvelous Monday, and why so good to have you back. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. All righty. We're going to get ready to get things kicked off here. And, we got to start, and I'm sorry to start your Monday off like this, but we got to talk about it, man. We're going to start things off on somewhat of a somber tone. And it'll pick up a little bit. What's going on, Eric? With the $5 super chat says, whoa, buy some eucalyptus tea. Yeah, I'm going to get some. I got some tea. I need to do some tea. I'll get that squared away once we get off of here. But we'll make that happen. But appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. All right. What up, Cameron Patterson? How's it going this morning? Grace and peace to you as well. Appreciate you. All right. We're gonna be on the raspier side of things today, but hopefully we'll get that cleaned up, man. I'll get some tea and some honey and some lemon, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, we'll go from there. But we're gonna get things kicked off, man. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Uh, hey, shout out to my ARP family members. Super thanks, super chats are greatly appreciated. And if you're feeling generous, buy your brother a coffee. Appreciate you guys supporting me in that manner. Thank you guys very much, man. So we're gonna get things kicked off. Like I said, hit that like button, and yeah, let's go.
The stabbing death of a Ukrainian woman in South End is an unexpected blow to the small Charlotte community of Ukrainian immigrants who have escaped their war-torn country. Thanks for joining us on Queen City News at 10. I'm Brian Blakely. It has been 5 days since 23-year-old Irina Zarutska was killed on a Cat's Light rail train by someone police say she never met. Tonight was Zarutska's funeral. Queen City News reporter David Schumann spoke to a refugee who says her murder made this week's Ukrainian Independence Day hard to celebrate.
Deadly stabbing near a Cat's Light rail station in South End the night of August 22nd.
GMPD has the one in custody. GMPD also advised one has tourniquet applied.
Police accused DeCarlos Brown in the murder of Irina Zarutska. The 23-year-old woman left Ukraine for the Charlotte area 3 years ago to escape her country's war with Russia.
Everybody was shocked, and people still are.
Anna Bonder is also a Ukrainian refugee. She says Ukrainians are used to horrible news, but usually from home, not in North Carolina, which she calls the bright, sunny half of their lives.
Charlotte is considered a safe place by most people. When something this dark happens here, it is truly devastating and shocking. And I think that it should not happen to anyone anywhere in the world.
All right. So we're going to start things off right here, man. And again, my apologies for, getting your Monday started off with a very, very shocking and heartbreaking story, but we got to talk about it because mainstream media they're code silent right now on this story. We're not here. You hadn't heard anything from mainstream media. Obviously, local news is reporting on this, but nothing from the liberal mainstream media out there. And this story, as shocking as it is, like I said, has gone unreported by major media outlets. On August 22nd, 23-year-old Irina Zarutska, hopefully I'm pronouncing that properly, out of Ukraine. She's a Ukrainian refugee who was seeking safety here in the United States. She was brutally stabbed to death on the Charlotte train by a career criminal. The attack, it was captured on surveillance. It was ignored by all major news outlets. Again, we know why, because it doesn't fit their narrative. And that's why they've chosen to ignore this particular story here, man. But this is sad. Sad situation, man. It doesn't make sense. They're not going to show it, but just casual pulls his knife out and, you see the blood dripping. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Now, when people say that we are living in the last days, I remember my grandparents used to say stuff like this. My grandmother used to say it way back in the, 90s, for y'all young people, like the 90s is a long time ago. But it used to say things. And, when you get into the word and you get into Revelation and you hear, and when you read it, you're almost like, is that really going to happen? Where, people will just do things and, the folks' hearts are just waxing cold. And it's just really unfortunate and how crazy It's really crazy how wild things have gotten. It really is, man. And we're literally watching this stuff play out, in front of our eyes, man, and very demonic. Very demonic, man. I'm gonna talk to y'all about Atlanta here in a little bit, but this particular story here is just crazy. And some of you guys are saying that y'all hadn't even heard about it, which it's not surprising because again, mainstream media is not covering this story. Now, this young lady was brutally attacked and stabbed to death on the Lynx Blue Line out there in Charlotte. And this young fella, 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown Jr., a career criminal with a rap sheet that dates back to 2011. Surveillance footage released weeks later that shows, Irina, in her pizzeria uniform, scrolling on her phone before Brown ambushed her, stabbing her 3 times, including in the neck. She collapsed, bleeding out while Brown fled, leaving the knife behind. He was arrested and charged with first-degree homicide. That did happen, so it didn't take long for them to catch a hold of him. But this dude's history, his criminal history is insane. We're talking robbery, larceny. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This dude has a serious rap sheet, man. And despite, clear warning signs that this guy was a menace to society, he was still free on the promise to appear in court off of a charge that he had, where he was claiming, some form of material that, controlled his body or something. I don't know. But this is yet another preventable tragedy. It's another preventable tragedy that exposes a broken system that ignores mental illness and lets violent offenders just roam free. Politicians, they claim that crime is down, but this young lady's death proves otherwise. And where was the mayor? Where was the media? Another life lost because leaders failed to act. It's really sad, man. This is the kind of stuff that is going on, in our nation right now. But yet you got governors and mayors and, all these politicians out here, acting like nothing's going on. Now, this particular lady here, she is the Democrat mayor, Lyles. She insisted that we cannot arrest ourselves or arrest our way out of issues like this, failing to mention the victim once. She didn't even bring up the victim at all and showed more concern for the perpetrator's homeless status. And then to make things worse, she goes over on X over the weekend. I want you guys to see the post from this lady. Democrats are something else, man. These Democrats are something else. Look at this. Hopefully you guys can read it for yourselves, but this is just a senseless loss, man. And instead of accountability, the mayor offers just a bunch of platitudes about compassion and mental health. And I'm not saying that we don't have a mental health crisis in our nation. Lord knows we do. We definitely do. But the people don't want excuses. They want violent criminals locked up, not roaming the streets free. And the footage itself, man, it's chilling. This young lady minding her own business, scrolling on her phone, and moments later, a man with a super long rap sheet pulls a knife and ends her life in seconds. This young lady escaped the war out in Ukraine only to come here to America and have her life taken, by some individual that should at minimum been in some, psych ward or something along those lines. Maybe he should have been behind bars. This is a tragedy, but it's not only a tragedy. This is a failure. The courts failed. City leadership failed. This is crazy. And the sad part about it is this isn't rare. This is becoming a national pattern. Repeat offenders get chance after chance until someone innocent pays the price. Leaders are talking about compassion while law-abiding citizens are living in fear. And enough is enough, man. Some people cannot function in society. They just can't. And they belong in either prison or secure mental health facilities, not on trains next to women just trying to get home. This young lady, man, she deserved better. And so many others out there deserve better. Charlotte deserves better. America deserves leaders who will protect the innocent, not the criminals. This is crazy. So I'll say rest in peace. My condolences to that young lady's family. I'm sure she did not expect, getting on that train, that would be the last ride for her. But hopefully this will be a wake-up call for the people down there in Charlotte and really people around the country, as this story gets out. Because it seems like it's going to take those of us on the independent side of things to get this story out. It seems like it. Because what we do know is that mainstream media, they don't care. This doesn't fit their narrative. They don't care. This is sad, man. Sad. But before we move on, I want to leave you guys with this thought, man. How many more stories like this? How many more stories like this do we need to hear before the people start to demand change? And it's not just about one city or one case. It's a nationwide issue. It's a nationwide issue. How many more of these stories do we got to hear before the people say, okay, man, enough's enough? And speaking of heartbreaking stories that demand our attention, I want to shift gears to yet another tragic case that's making the headlines, but for whatever reason, mainstream media, they won't pick this one up either. And this one hits close to home, man, because this happened in the county that I live in. I live in Anne Arundel County. This one hits home. And this story right here, man, it involves a young 19-year-old woman out of Maryland. She's actually from PG County. They actually found her body in Anne Arundel County, just outside of Annapolis. And, it's just another stark reminder of the failures in our system. Another stark reminder of the failures in our system, man. I mean, it's really, really sad what's going on. Shout out to Hunter with the $5 super chat. Says, I think he's saying, I am willing to put money on it that this was premeditated. He wasn't even supposed to be on that train. He never bought a ticket. Interesting. Shout out to William Williams with the $2 super chat. Says, good morning, ARP fam. Happy Monday from South CAC. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Jay-Z investigates uncovering new information about the murder of a 19-year-old whose body was dumped over a bridge near Annapolis. A suspect we know in custody tonight, and authorities say he's in the country illegally. Investigator Mike Halgren live in Anne Arundel County with what charging documents reveal about this man and the case. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Rick. 7 pages of detailed charging documents. This suspect was from Guatemala. According to court records, he worked for a Baltimore-based landscaping company. Police used surveillance video and cell phone tracking to build their case. This suspect is now being held without bail. And a warning, some of the details you're about to hear are disturbing.
This is a good young woman who wanted to do good for her community.
Have you seen Dakara?
A heartbreaking end to the search for 19-year-old Dakara Thompson. Her family desperately looked for answers for weeks.
I want my baby back. I just simply want my daughter back.
This one hits hard, man. This is close to home. I'm in Annapolis fairly often because it's not that far away from where I live at. And, to hear this, come across, and I was talking about my wife. I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and it's really sad, man. It's really sad, and my apologies for getting your Monday started off like this. But we got to talk about it. We got to bring some awareness to these types of stories that mainstream media will not discuss. On August 31st, Maryland State Police discovered a body in Anne Arundel County. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with Anne Arundel County is in Maryland. It is also where the capital of the state. A lot of people think that Baltimore is the capital, but it's not. Annapolis, Maryland is actually the capital, and that's where Anne Arundel County is, or Annapolis sits inside of Anne Arundel County. And, so out in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, Maryland, there was a body that was later identified as 19-year-old Dakara Thompson from Lanham. Lanham is out in PG County, for those that aren't familiar with the area. And this was a joint investigation with county detectives that led to the arrest of 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez from Bowie, Maryland. Bowie, Maryland's in PG County as well, who's now been charged with first and second degree homicide. So here's what we know. Surveillance footage shows the car approaching a black SUV in the early morning hours of August 23rd. After speaking to the driver, she entered the vehicle. That SUV then went to a home on Cambridge Drive in Bowie, Maryland, where evidence indicates that she was killed in a bedroom. Hernandez Mendez allegedly had access to the SUV and lived in that very bedroom. Now, here's where it gets even more disturbing. ICE has already identified Hernandez Mendez as an illegal alien from Guatemala and issued a detainer for him. In a statement on social media, ICE said that Hugo Hernandez Mendez, an illegal alien from Guatemala, has been charged with first and second degree homicide in the gruesome death of the 19-year-old Dakara Thompson. Now, ICE has issued a detainer for this criminal illegal alien, and justice will be served for this Maryland family. But this man should not have been here in the first place. He shouldn't have been here.
Police found Thompson's body on Route 50 near Interstate 97 in the Annapolis area. According to charging documents WJZ Investigates obtained, the suspect, 35-year-old Hugo Hernandez Mendez, threw her body off a highway bridge into the South River. She had skull and facial fractures. Her family identified her through tattoos.
At this time, there are no additional suspects. However, this investigation is ongoing.
Thompson, who lived with her dad, disappeared after going out to get gas. She sent him this text.
I should be back soon. I love you too. Good night.
The 19-year-old is seen on surveillance video leaving her SUV behind in Hyattsville. According to charging documents, she approached the suspect's GMC Yukon and after approximately a minute of conversing, walks over to the passenger side of the vehicle and gets into the passenger front seat. Police say they drove to his house in Bowie and believe he killed her in his bedroom. A roommate reports hearing the defendant having sex and then a grunting noise, which made it believe that someone wasn't enjoying the sex. After executing a search warrant, police found what they believed to be the victim's blood and missing fingernail, along with hair and other evidence in the bedroom and in the trash, along with multiple pairs of women's underwear and lingerie. Hernandez Mendez agreed to an interview, telling detectives he went to a nightclub to meet his ex-girlfriend, but never did. When detectives questioned further, the defendant denied any involvement. Prince George's officials say Hernandez Mendez was in the United States illegally. U.S. Park Police arrested him for a DUI 5 months ago, but let him go.
The U.S. Government has made status of individuals relevant. This was someone who was in their custody, and they made the decision to release him. So I think the questions should be asked of the Justice Department.
And ICE has now issued a detainer for the suspect. Now, the victim worked for a nonprofit that was one of Governor Moore's initiatives, and the governor tonight is calling her a bright light, and he is promising accountability for anyone responsible for her murder. We're live in your corner.
She didn't deserve what happened to her. She didn't. I don't have daughters. I have sons. And I'm on both of them, about being out late at night, the people they choose to be around and hang around. I'm assuming that we will find out how they met. I don't know. Maybe they, because it's obviously she went and got in his car. And she told her father that she was doing something else, going to get some gas. And here you are linking up with this guy. We gotta teach our young women. We gotta teach our young women. First off, you just shouldn't be doing this. You just shouldn't. Seriously. Seriously. And Carol, you're absolutely right. This could happen day or night when you're going to go and meet with folks that you don't know, especially when you're going to meet with folks that you don't know on the late night. She made a poor choice. She made a poor choice. She didn't deserve to die. She didn't deserve to lose her life, but she did make a poor choice. And it's unfortunate because this is one of those stories that are going to have to be used to teach other young women out here. You can't just be out here willy-nilly like that, man. There are some evil individuals out here. There are some people that do not mean you any good out here. I do not think that this young lady deserved it, but this is a story. This is a situation that should be used as a telltale story of what not to do. We need our young people, young men and women, operating differently. Again, I don't have daughters, but I get on my son. Ain't nothing going on outside after 12 o'clock at night, bro. I get on him about that. You need to be in the house. There's nothing going on out there. Unless you're at work, and he don't work overnight. So unless you're at work, you need to be in the house. There is nothing good happening at 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Seriously. Nothing. But of course, you hear nothing from the BLM crew. This young lady abducted, lost her life, tossed over a bridge like a bag of trash. Zero. Crickets from the BLM crew. Because this doesn't fit their narrative. But we have to start teaching our young people how to move better. Especially our young women, but the young men too. You can't just be meeting people online or however she met this guy. I don't know. But you can't be out here like that. You can't. It's not safe. It's not safe. And of course, you got, the Democrats and Black Lives Matter hollering at their, quote unquote, pro-Black folks, especially pro-Black women, but crickets from these people, man. Crickets, nothing. Absolutely nothing from these people. And the governor in Maryland, who is running a sanctuary state, who is pro-sanctuary cities, he gets on there and calls it a senseless act of violence. Of course it is. But the question that I have for him is, how did this happen? How does a 35-year-old illegal immigrant from Guatemala with multiple arrests end up free in our state to murder Dakara Thompson? How does that happen? I mean, this isn't random. This is a direct result of failed policies. Democrats continue to preach compassion and open borders, but it's fake morality. It's not compassion for victims like Dakara or Irina. It's not compassion for them. It's virtue signaling that puts dangerous people on our streets. And when tragedy strikes like this, leaders issue these statements about mental health or, societal failures, but never accountability. Where's the compassion for the women, who were killed? Where? You can't find it. You can't find it because in their world, the criminals, their story matters more than the victim's life. No different than the young lady, Rachel Morin, who was killed by an illegal immigrant. You got Senator Van Hollen flying all up and down, El Salvador for this quote unquote Maryland man, but he still hasn't had an opportunity or hasn't taken the opportunity to go speak with the Morin family, who was so brutally beaten that they sealed the daggone pictures up so her children won't be able to see it. These people are sick, man. And the truth is simple. Some people are just too dangerous to be free. They need to be locked up, man. Long sentences, real consequences. I mean, in the 90s, they were throwing a book at people for nonviolent drug crimes. We have people out here committing heinous acts and they're letting them go. What we have right now, it's a broken system that ignores ICE detainers, shrugs off repeat arrests, and protects criminals over citizens. And if our leaders enforce the law, if they just enforced the law, these two young women, they might still be alive today. But until we stop prioritizing political correctness over public safety, innocent lives will continue to be lost, man. Enough is enough. But to any of you guys that have younger children, we won't call them younger children, young people in their late teens, 20s, we got to teach them to move better, man. We got to teach them to move better. Now, I always want to bring things back to the Word of God because honestly, if she was operating, in accordance to God's plan, she wouldn't be out there doing these things. She wouldn't be out here meeting, some stranger, at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. She wouldn't be lying to her pops, telling him that she going to go get gas on the late night tip. I would even question that. You sending me a text message, you going to get some gas at 2 o'clock in the morning? Man, you better sit your butt down somewhere. Do that in the morning on your way to work or wherever you got to go. I'd have found that. I mean, how as a father, how do you not find that suspicious? Like, the heck is going on? You going to get gas after 12 o'clock at night? I'm a grown man and I don't even go and get gas after 12 o'clock at night. We got to teach these young people, man, y'all ain't invincible. There are some people out here that they do not mean you any good, man. Dr. Kyla, I'm with you. Nobody should be getting gas. Hey, it's a recipe to get robbed or anything else. Nothing good is going on after midnight, man. Nothing. We got to teach these young people, man. We got to teach these young people to move differently. I hear you guys talking about the 3 strike laws. My only issue with the 3 strike laws is it would be there were entirely too many people that were getting life sentences on that 3rd crime that they committed, and the crime would be something super petty. It'd be some super petty misdemeanor, and then boom, they gone forever. The 3 strike law, I think I understand where you guys are coming from, but I think there's some modifications to that 3 strike rule. And I also think the judges should have some discretion there as well. The judges' hands were tied. They would get these 3, somebody come in on something petty. And I don't know if it was 3. I don't think it was just 3 felonies. I don't think so. Because you would hear people, or maybe it might have been maybe lower level felonies or something along those lines. But there needs to be some guidelines around that. There need to be some guidelines. I'm all for bringing some form of, strikes back, because I mean, we got people out here with 13, 14, 15 charges, roaming the streets. Kenny Cooper said this three strike law shouldn't be for illegals. Heck no. No. 3 strikes are for those that are citizens. Yeah, citizens. Was it felonies? Okay, it was felonies. But maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm thinking, it'd be some lower level felony, and next thing you know, a person gone forever. But yeah. But it did cause, it definitely caused mass incarceration, and so there's some things that we need to figure that out. I don't know if there is a perfect way to go about doing that, but what I do know is, allowing folks with 13, 14, 15 charges just to continue to roam the streets until they actually do something so heinous that, okay, at this point, you can't let them go. Something does need to shake when it comes to that. I do agree. Something got to shake there, Oh, man. But my condolences, man. My thoughts, my prayers, go out to the Thompson family. I know her father, I know her mother. They are heartbroken right now. This is a story that really rocked the county here, out here in Maryland. And, really rocked it. And even when I heard about it, man, it hit me because I'm like, man, this is right down the way. I know that intersection. I know that bridge right there off of 50. It's sad, man. Sad story, man. So my condolences. Rest in peace, Dakara. Rest in peace, Irina. I mean, this is sad, man. It really is. Really sad. But something's got to shake. They got to do something. Hold up. Adon said PG County, Maryland still won't fully acknowledge the illegal problem. No, they won't. Oh, PG County might be the bluest county in the daggone state. Adon, I'm telling the truth. It might be. If it's not the bluest county in the state, it's number 2. It's between PG County and Montgomery County, the 2 bluest counties in the state. These people vote blue no matter who, no matter what's going on. And they won't acknowledge what's going on there from an illegal immigrant perspective. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Oh, Adon said Moco. I figured it would be one of the two, either Montgomery County or PG County, one of the two. Yeah. And crickets from BLM. Crickets, nothing. I guess they hadn't received their marching orders from the DNC, right? Is that what it is? They hadn't received those marching orders from the DNC. They're not allowed to stand up against illegal immigration. Nick J, you're absolutely right. Both counties, those are the 2 surrounding counties in Maryland anyway. Those are the 2 surrounding counties for DC. It's PG County and Montgomery County. Sad, man. Sad. It upsets me, man. It really does. It really does. Because what they say is, what this particular situation, what they're telling everybody is that a Black life doesn't matter until a Black life is taken by someone that is white or the police. If that doesn't happen, they don't care. If that doesn't happen, they don't care. Because their goal really isn't to help Black people. No, their goal is to destroy the nation from the inside out. That's their goal. They don't actually care, about Black people. They don't care about young Black folks. They don't care. Because if they did, they would be out here marching, demanding, 1, justice happens. 2, we get these illegal immigrants out of here. But 3, hey, the crime that's going on in these cities, it's unacceptable. They would be protesting the governors, the mayors to do something about the crime that's happening in these cities. But crickets, you get nothing from these people, man, because it doesn't fit their narrative. Sickening, man. Sickening. Goodness gracious, man. Liz Biddy said BLM is not doing a thing unless money is involved. You're absolutely right. If they can't get some donations, you are absolutely right there. If they don't feel like they can get some donations off of it, nope. Shout out to Eric Smith with the $5 super chat. Says, it's okay if our Monday is starting out rough. It's better if we turn and run into the storm than try to outrun it and end up staying in the storm longer. Appreciate you, Eric. Thank you. Shout out to LJ with the $5 super chat. Says, Trump needs to bring back insane asylums and push inpatient psych care. I am looking forward to the ICE surge next year. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. We have a mental health crisis going on in our nation that no one wants to discuss. No one wants to talk about it, really. Shout out to LJ with the $5 super chat. Says Democrats don't care about the black population that's killing each other either because they are not voters. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they become voters when they do souls to the polls, right? When they do souls to the polls, you know, they go, hey, that Jim Clyburn fish fry. That's the only time they care. That is the only time they care. And the thing is that, you know, people get upset because we have so many people walking our streets with mental health issues, right? And, you know, I was talking to one of my friends, and I don't want to put all his business out there, but down in Georgia, they have a couple mental health groups or organizations. They're nonprofits, and they have these, I don't know if they call them officers or whatever, but they're supposed to, whenever a call comes out that this is a individual, the police are going to show up, but they're also going to show these community mental health crisis folks. They're supposed to show up as well. The only problem with that is that they only work from 9 to 5. They work 9 in the morning to 5 p.m. When do you think most of the mental health issues are popping off? It's happening the opposite. They should be working 9 p.m. to 5 in the morning, not 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Most of the issues and episodes are going to happen on the late night tip, right? So they should flip it. But so they're like, when we actually need help, these people aren't even working. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, what's going on, Renee Suzanne? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hey, Maurice, you're absolutely right there, man. Yeah, we are a country that have turned away, you know, from that love for God. We used to have it. LJ. Hey, I'm old school, man. I'm old school. Every now and again, y'all will hear my age. Every now and again. But let's move on. Y'all a trip. LJ a trip. But let's move on, man. So I want to talk about the something that is starting to catch some legs, which I'm extremely excited about. We want to lighten things up a little bit. But there is a growing push to end property tax in the United States of America. Hey, Eric, don't give me that year yet. I'm 45. I'll be 46. Lord willing, come November. For those of you guys, my birthday is 11/30. I'll be 46, Lord willing, this year. Dr. Kyla said, hubby says you're a high schooler with a gray beard. I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or what. Y'all are, oh man, Dr. Kyla, thank you. Thank you. And tell your husband I said I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. That means that I guess I must look really young. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh yeah, Ja. 79. I'm barely Gen X. I'm on the low end of Gen X, or some people would, I guess, consider an old millennial. One of the two. It really depends on the chart, you know. It really depends on the chart. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. But hey, I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm all for them getting rid of this property tax thing in America. I'm all for it. I am all for it. For those of you guys that are homeowners, those of you guys that want to own a home, those of you guys that own your home outright, but still feel like you don't own your home because you got to keep paying these daggone property taxes. I'm all for it. I am all for it. So there's a growing push to end these daggone, to end these property taxes in America, and it's led by certain Republican-led states. Leave it to the Republicans to say, hey, man, let's get these daggone taxes under control. Leave it to them.
We really want to be a resource to look out for taxpayers. When you have a gusher of revenue coming in because Florida's doing well, people are buying homes, property values are going up, you know, the inclination for most people in office is to take that revenue and spend it. That's what politicians do. We look at it and say, well, actually, you know, what would be very beneficial for folks in Florida right now, particularly for families, is tax relief and property tax relief. We're showing you can do meaningful things in a budget that is half the size of the state that's closest to us in population, New York, and still make a big difference. So it can be done, but we got to be friends and stewards of taxpayers.
Yeah, I'm with this, man. And this movement isn't just a political movement, man. It's about redefining how we fund our communities and what it really means to own a home in the United States of America. When you look at the fact that housing costs are soaring, momentum is building to abolish property taxes. Representative Majorie, or we call her MTG, she called it a national priority. Elon Musk calls property tax a de facto lease from the government, which essentially is what it is. You're leasing your land from the government. You'll own the home, but you're still leasing the land. And Governor Ron DeSantis has pledged to push Florida in that direction. True ownership means owning your home free and clear, not renting the land back from the state. I'm 1,000% with it. I'm 1,000% with it.
No, you should own your property free and clear. I think to say that someone that's been in their house for 35 years just has to keep ponying up money, that is not. You don't own your home if that's the case. So yes, of course, I'd like to see people be able to owe free and clear. And it's interesting because it's like if I go to Best Buy and buy a flat screen TV and put it on the wall, I got to pay a sales tax on it, right? But I don't keep paying tax on it every year. I mean, It's just not, that's not how we do things. It's like, okay, if you're going to tax something, you tax it at the transaction and then let people actually enjoy their private property free and clear of the government. So that, I think, is the vision. That's the philosophical insight.
I love it. I love it. Now, I do have a question, and some of you guys, some of the smart people that I have in the chat here, if you buy the house, and let's say, for instance, you're on a 15-year mortgage, 30-year mortgage, whatever it is, after that time frame, you get the house paid off, right? At that point, you don't pay property tax anymore. If you sell the house, does the new people, do they have to pay property tax once you sell the home? Does that start over again? Got a question. That's just a question that I have. Like, hey, you own it outright, but when you sell it, does the new owners, do they start off, paying property tax? Is that how that's going to work? I'm asking for a friend. Shout out to Tommy Wilkstrom. with the $5 super chat says, I think they are trying to get rid of us real Americans, original Americans. Yeah. You got a point there. You got a point there. Oh, so all of you guys say yes, it's a sales tax. All right, yeah. So you're going to pay it. But how long do you pay it? I mean, is there going to be a cap on it? Is it just the length of the mortgage or whatever that is? And is that going to incentivize people to do 15-year mortgages? Because, hey, it would be easier for you to get your house sold and you don't have to pay as much, property tax, incentivizing people maybe to buy smaller homes and do 15-year mortgages. Is that what's going to happen? Interesting. Now, you think about here in Maryland, we shouldn't have any daggone property tax here in Maryland. I mean, they literally are selling everything out this daggone state, man. Dude, think about this. We got multiple casinos. They sell alcohol. They sell marijuana. What else? There's something else that they're doing. Oh, we got sports gambling. You got sports betting going on. We got so many ways that the state is making money. Some kind of way the governor just figured out a way to put us in a daggone $4 billion deficit. I mean, we got all kinds of ways that we're making money. All kinds of ways. It's crazy. It doesn't even make sense to me, but I'm with Ron DeSantis, man. I'm with him on this, man. Why should you continue to have to continue to keep paying rent to the government just to keep your home? For decades, property taxes, they have funded schools, parks, roads, and the police. But as home values skyrocket, tax bills have just gotten outrageous. They've gotten outrageous, which sparked a nationwide revolt. And this push isn't just a partisan push. Last year, voters in 9 states approved caps and exemptions. Lawmakers in Texas, Indiana, New Jersey, and New York have passed billions in relief. Even blue states are fed up with the daggone property taxes. But many say that it's not enough. Grassroots campaigns out in Michigan and Ohio, they want to abolish property taxes outright. In Texas, Representative Brian Harrison is pushing a constitutional amendment to end them by 2031. And now major conservative groups and donors are circling the fight, man. And the bottom line is this. People are done paying endless rent to the daggone government, and they're ready to take the battle to the ballot box. And I am with it. I'm with it, man. These property taxes they are outrageous. And in some states, man, you got people. I feel sorry for some of these folks in some of these states out here. I mean, our property tax is high, but it's not high as, places like out in California or, up in New York. I've heard New Jersey property taxes are crazy. Massachusetts property taxes are crazy. I mean, it's wild, man.
Yeah, Cranford Town Council candidate Will Tilley decided to break dance for tax breaks, and it got awkward fast.
Mr. Tilley, I started your time.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Well, you can see he started to dance with zero music playing during the public comment section of the meeting yesterday. When he did eventually make it to the podium, he questioned council about recent property tax hikes, and then he brought his dance moves back.
Watch this.
So Tilley eventually moonwalked back to his seat. According to lawmakers in the area, he has a reputation for unconventional appearances at meetings.
Gosh.
The best part is the people in the audience.
Oh my goodness. Yo, people are crazy. Oh my goodness. Yo, man, people are a trip, man. I tell you. Yo, people are wilding out these days, man. I tell you. Hey, Dr. Kyla said put him in the Olympics. Hey, he would be better than that lady out of Australia, for sure. Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat. Says that made my morning. Yeah, man, I tell you. Dr. Kyla, he would definitely be better than that lady out from Australia that was breakdancing in the Olympics. She was terrible. Oh man. But he eventually got to his point. He did. He eventually got to his point, which is a serious concern. He asked a real question. Why property taxes has jumped so much? And voters, you know, they were told that there was a recent school referendum that would raise the average household bill by about $400 on the annual. That was the number that was on the table when they cast their ballots. But this bill, it's now a nearly $900 more, which is more than double what was promised. You guys got to check out. Let's hear what he had to say about this particular situation, man.
Well, why did our taxes go up so much? We were told the referendum was going to bring it up for an average household about $400, I think, and mine went up like $900.
Thank you, Mr. Thilley. I like the interpretive dance.
So his taxes went up, his property taxes went up $900. I'd be frustrated too. I mean, think about that on your mortgage, man. That's an extra, you know, just rounding up math. That's an extra, what, maybe $70 added to your mortgage. And for people that are on fixed incomes and things of that nature, that added $70 to $80 that's a lot. That is a lot. They're boxing people or pushing people into a corner to where, as an older individual, when you find yourself on a fixed income, you don't have a choice but to sell your home because these property taxes keep going up, but your fixed income doesn't. He's frustrated. And a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are. And Jalen, I do agree, MJ would have definitely been proud. But he asked a valid question. Why was a referendum pitched as just a few $100s and then it turned into a much bigger tax hike? Were there any hidden costs slipped in there? Did schools need more money than they actually admitted? I mean, these are fair questions. And nobody likes being sold one thing only to find out later that the math doesn't add up. And the frustration's real. And in states like New Jersey, resistance, it may look theatrical, but the anger runs deep. Property taxes were meant to fund essentials, but as rates skyrocket, families, especially those on fixed incomes, they're being crushed out here. And meanwhile, you have places like New York and California, you know, where taxes rise while residents get less in return. They get less safety, less affordability, less value. And conservatives like DeSantis and Harrison, they argue that true home ownership means freedom from government rent. And that message is striking a nerve all across the country. All across the country. We shouldn't have to lease the land in perpetuity. We shouldn't have to do that, man. Angela said the high taxes in New Jersey is why we rent. Makes no sense. Goodness gracious. Oh. New Jersey's on the state. I'm sorry. New Jersey is on the list of states that it's very difficult for you to live in if you want to generate and build wealth. It's one of those states on that list. I think it's in the top 10. It's one of the top 10 states to not live in if you want to generate wealth. Quincy, you're absolutely right, bro. You will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, MP Ray. Yeah, the high taxes. Well, the Northeast in general. The Northeast is insane. The Northeast is crazy. Obviously, majority liberal led. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think all liberal led. What's up, Crystal? How you doing today? I think all liberal led, in the Northeast. Yeah. Which is also the reason why you got a lot of people moving from up there and moving down south. When I was in Georgia, I ran across on Thursday, I was watching the game, and a guy is like, oh, he was from, I can't remember if it was New York or New Jersey, one of the two, and he's talking about how he couldn't stand Georgia because his country is slower, so forth and so on. But he's like, man, you can't afford to live. You can't afford to live up there. What he owns, in the state of Georgia in comparison to what he would be able to own. I think he was saying his house that he lives in Georgia would be probably worth, $1 or $2 million, up in New Jersey or up in New York. And y'all crazy. LJ says, replay the break dance and Crystal missed it. All right, for Crystal, hold up. Oh my goodness. Give me a second. All right, I got a little ad play. Give me a second. I'll run it back. We're going to talk about Chicago. Well, I'm actually going to talk about Chicago a little later today. I'm going to talk about Chicago a little later today. But all right, here we go. Give me a second. Uh-oh, Kier, don't you start that.
Well, you can see he started to dance with zero music playing during the public comment section of the meeting yesterday. When he did eventually make it to the podium, he questioned counsel about recent property tax hikes, and then he brought his dance moves back.
Watch this.
So Tilly eventually moonwalked back to his seat, according to lawmakers in the area.
Yo, that's so crazy, man. Oh my goodness. That moonwalk was slick though, wasn't it? Y'all are a mess, man. That moonwalk was slick. Now, I got to give it to him. The moonwalk was slick. You can tell he was one of those dudes back in the day. He was one of those guys back in the day. His hips don't work the way they used to. But you could tell he was one of those guys back in the day. That's hilarious, man. What's up, Crystal? How you feeling? I meant to reach out to you the other day, but hopefully you're doing all right. Hopefully you're feeling well. Hilarious, man. But I want to talk about this one last thing, and then I think I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna open it up. I want to get some call-ins a little bit. We got time, so it's 10:30. So we got some time. But before we do, I want to talk about this this last story here, and it's a major issue across the country. Major issue across the country. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Crystal. But major issue across the country, and especially in places like California. We know California is a hot daggone mess in certain places. Certain places in California is a hot mess. Y'all know it. But it's a perfect example of the mess that we're in when it comes to housing, to the housing policies. And I came across this Pod Save America episode entitled "The Abundance Debate Hits California," where a Democratic Los Angeles City Council member is going viral for bragging about blocking new affordable housing in the city, even as Los Angeles faces a massive homelessness crisis. I want you guys to check this out, man. We're going to get into it. I got to grab my dog real quick. Give me 1 second.
But see, that to me gets at the core of the issue. And first of all, I just want to say, I appreciate you coming on here because I am out there in favor of SB 79. You're on with the proponent of the bill. So I appreciate you coming and being willing to have this debate. And I really want to be fair to your point of view. But what I hear there is what you're saying is, well, there weren't 7-story buildings here in the past, so there can't be 7-story buildings here in the future. But that freezes California in a moment when there were far fewer people in this state. And my concern in what I'm hearing from you is there are legitimate issues that you're raising about what locals feel about the character of their neighborhood. I'm not saying that those aren't legitimate concerns, but it seems to lose the forest for the trees, which is we have an emergency. There's only a quarter, 20% of the number of affordable units as the number of people who need them. We are losing people to Texas. Right? They are making a claim that we are failing in California to build enough. Like, this is an emergency. The problem isn't that there are going to be buildings too high near transit stops. The problem is there is nowhere for people who want to come to California to live. It is pushing our entertainment business out. It is pushing young people out. This is an emergency. We should all be freaking out about how urgent it is to do anything humanly possible to build housing. And you're worried about whether or not there's a place for a few senior citizens to sit outside a building that developers are trying to build. And I'm saying, great, that's important. But are you focused on what will ultimately make California affordable for the people in your district?
Well, I am. And this is why I said, speak for yourself. And that's why I also said, we can't assume that the superhero here is the developer. So, for example, under the emergency ordinance, I'm bringing a set of tiny homes into an underutilized Metrolink parking station. I didn't have to do any outreach, but I started a neighborhood watch, and I also had a whole town hall related to addressing that component. And there's also an ED1 that's being built on Victory and Balboa. And going back to what you said, the neighbors didn't want it at all. They just didn't want the density. They wanted me to kill it. But by law, I really have no jurisdiction anymore because it's an ED1, right? But we still, as a team, got together with the developer, the high school across the street, other stakeholders, and instead of building something that was potentially 6 stories, we got it down to 3 stories. And we also got the developer to also work with us to make sure that it helps the families of the area. We also said, instead of a ton of off.
Okay. You see the look on this dude's face? Do you see the look on this dude's face? I'm going to continue to let this thing go. My dog is acting up. Wifey's got to come get this dude and take him outside. Goodness gracious. He's got to go. But you see the look on his face, man. You can basically see that this dude's brain is about to explode. Look at his face, man.
Office space. We do want you to also incorporate a few more parking lots and EV chargers. So yeah, I mean, there's some developers that have built housing where it looks like a big, ugly cement box in the middle of the neighborhood. But what I want is something that people will be proud of, something that people will be excited to say, this is why I'm coming to Los Angeles, because you really think that all these young people that are seeking the Hollywood jobs that want to come to Los Angeles want to live in a cement-looking building and find it to be dignified? I don't think so. But SB 79 creates a situation where the developer can actually do that, build something that no one is excited about.
These people, man. These people, man. I tell you. And thank you guys. Thank you all. Dead by Dawn said I was beautiful. I'm just messing with you, bro. I know you're talking about my dog. That's my guy. That's my dog. That's Shakir Aloysius. Every now and again, he will make an appearance. He's got to make his presence known. He hadn't seen me in about 5 or 6 days, so he's really happy to see me. So he's been hanging out with me all morning. But these people out in California are nuts. Seriously. I mean, that clip right there is a perfect snapshot of our broken housing policy. Broken housing policy. Neighbors They didn't want density. So a city councilwoman admitted that they asked her to just get rid of the project, just kill the project, even though she had no legal authority under California's ED1 law. But she stepped in anyway, pressuring the developer and stakeholders to slash the building from 6 stories to 3, cutting housing in half. Y'all know they got a housing issue out there in California. She also demanded less office space, more parking lots, and EV chargers. EV chargers. And the result, fewer units, higher costs, and lower revenue streams that could have kept rents down. And the irony is this, man. She thought she was defending local control, but she proved exactly why the state needs to override the meddling. This is how the housing crisis happens in the first daggone place. Local politicians bow to homeowners who don't want new neighbors, blocking projects, even when the law says that they can't. And California desperately needs more housing. Why do you think a cracker box in California is $1 to $2 million? Because you got these crazy nut jobs out there that's overregulating everything and won't allow people to build anything. I mean, come on, man. They're overregulated. All these stupid mandates. EV chargers? Really? EV chargers? I mean, come on, man. They overregulate. They bring these stupid mandates. And all it does is just choke the supply. And businesses and young people are leaving because there's nowhere to live. There's nowhere affordable to live anyway. And meanwhile, you got states like Tennessee, Texas, Georgia. They're showing you what works. Man, I was just in Georgia. They are literally building new houses everywhere. Townhouses, single-family detaches, everywhere. So they're showing, the red states are actually showing you, hey, this is how it works. No rent control, no lighter zoning, and housing that actually gets built. Even with rapid population growth, supply keeps up and rents stabilize. But liberal states talk about affordability, but their own policies, they make it impossible. And if you strangle the supply, you strangle opportunity, period. But for whatever reason, these people still don't tend to get it. And that's the other thing, Lori. They want EV chargers, but yeah, they don't have the grid to support it. I don't know, LS. I mean, I guess I'm looking at things differently because I live up north and I'm looking in Georgia and I'm like, man, you can buy a home in Georgia right now for $250. Is it going to be a mansion? No, but you can purchase a home in Georgia for $250. I saw it with my own eyes. And they were 3-bed, 2 baths with a front and backyard. You can't get that here in Maryland. That's not going to happen. You guys are just, some of y'all are just spoiled. Some of y'all are spoiled, but I will say the traffic is crazy. LS, I'm going to disagree with you, man. In Atlanta, I ain't even talking about the outskirts. I'm talking about in Atlanta, there are places that you can buy for in the 2s. I saw it with my own eyes. I mean, we're talking a mortgage. If you buy something that's in the 2s, with the interest rates right now, I mean, we're still talking a mortgage that is less 200,000. I'm sorry, less than 200,000. Less than 2,000. I mean, well, Leslie said not in areas where I want to live at. Well, what I was talking about is like right around, not too far away from the AU Center. Not too far away. But, I mean, I think the community looked pretty isolated from what I saw. You're looking at homes 250, 260, 270. Now, if you're on the outskirts, you live, in one of the counties outside of the city, you definitely can. Now, you're probably going to drive a country mile to get wherever you need to get to, but because the traffic out there is insane. Goodness gracious. Traffic's crazy.
As your next mayor of this city, yes. I will freeze the rent for more than 250,000 rent-stabilized apartments.
Only 250,000 apartments on top of what's already there. I mean, what could go wrong if that happens, right? What could go wrong if that happens? In San Francisco, it's nearly two-thirds that, are basically rent controlled out there. But what do all of these cities have in common? They got some of the highest rent in the country. And the reason they have some of the highest rent in the country is because rent stabilization locks people into units. It reduces turnover, and that artificially depresses supply. And developers are then forced to make up the cost by charging higher rents on the other units. I mean, it's just a vicious cycle. It's just a vicious cycle. And Padilla's comments, they just keep proving the point. She brags about cutting down the project. She brags about cutting down the project, eliminating office space that would have offset cost and replacing it with EV chargers and parking lots that only add more expenses. She even argues that new buildings need to look beautiful because in her mind, young people coming to LA don't want to live in what she calls cement boxes. As if people struggling to afford rent care more about architecture than a place that they can actually afford to rest their heads. I mean, this is the progressive mindset in action, putting personal aesthetics preferences and feel-good mandates over the urgent reality that the people need housing right now. And she doesn't stop there. Padilla also insists on things like in-unit laundry in every apartment, mandatory green spaces for children, and shaded outdoor seating areas for seniors. I mean, we're talking affordable housing here, man. We're talking affordable housing here. I don't really know what's up with this lady.
And for myself, as someone who has, gone above and beyond with engaging with developers, even when I don't even have that much jurisdiction, for example, the Executive Directive 1 that our mayor put together, it stripped away everything from the council members from being able to engage, so to speak, so that it can be done in a much faster way. But, I still went and talked to the developer and made sure that they didn't just build this gigantic thing near transit without remembering that at the end of the day, when you build high density, quality of life issues should leave that conversation. What do I mean by that? I like to talk to folks about the importance of our multi-unit dwellings being built to incorporate laundry and washer in every unit. I remind them that these are children who are not going to have a front yard or a backyard. So what are you doing to incorporate some green space? You're going to have seniors that don't want to just stay indoors. So what are you doing to create a space for them to also be social and, be able to sit, enjoy some shade in the hot LA sun and, be able to people watch? Developers don't come in with that mentality. Developers come in with the mentality of, this is how much money is available. How do I build as much as I can? Because in the long term, they're going to make the money. But we also.
Oh, man. I mean, look, hey, I love an in-unit laundry just as much as anyone. But there was a time that I couldn't afford a place that had in-unit washer and dryers. There was a time. And we all utilized the washer and dryer or laundry, unit or whatever the case may be that we had in the building. Or you just go to the laundromat. That's what laundromats are for communities like this that are supposed to be, more lower income, so forth and so on. That's why you have these laundromats in these types of areas. I mean, I get it. We all love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? In my house today, we have a washer and dryer in our home, but that wasn't always the case. And hey, laundry was a day. You got to wash 4 humans' clothes. That is a day. Going to the laundromat, that was a day. I remember when I was growing up and going to the laundromat with my mom, You know, when she was washing clothes, because we didn't live in a place that had a washer and dryer, and holy smokes, man, it was a day, super boring day at that. But let's just be real here, man. I mean, we're talking about affordable housing. All of these things that this lady was talking about, it just drives the rent up. It drives the rent up. Same with the green spaces, the common areas, the EV chargers. These are all nice perks. They're all nice perks. But when you force developers to include them in every project, all you're going to get is a guarantee that luxury housing gets built. I'm really tired of this, people deserve stuff. Oh, everybody deserves, to have, a washer and dryer in their home. Deserve? You get what you work for. And if you're in a season in your life when you can't afford a home that has a washer and dryer in it, or the connection so you could purchase one and put one in it, if you're in that season in your life, that's okay. We were all once in that season in our lives. Some of us longer than others. It's okay. There was a time when I got out of college, man, I had a little 1 bed, 1 bath. It was really just 2 rooms. And it didn't have a washer and dryer. I had to load up the clothes and go to the laundromat. That was the season. But it's also what made you work hard. It made me work hard to say, you know what? I got to improve my situation. NP Ray, I agree with you. It is not essential to have a washer and dryer in the house. It's just not. It's not essential. EV chargers are not essential. Now, the green space, to an extent, I understand that. Most of the places that we lived at, they at least had some form of playground or something like that for the kids, to get out and run around a little bit. They at least had that. But when you're in a place like California, especially LA, San Francisco, and these places to where, because of the regulation, rent is just through the roof. There was a time some years back, this was probably 10 years ago, had an opportunity. There was a tech company. They were based out of the San Francisco area, and they had reached out and was interested, but they wanted us to move to California. And I started looking at the rent prices out there. And this was 10 years ago, and we needed a 3-bedroom. We needed a 3-bedroom, at least 1 bath, but hopefully we'd like a 2. Man, the low end was $3,500. That was the low end. And what they were offering financially, it was significant if I would have been able to stay here in Maryland, but it was nothing out there in California. And that's just like, man, I can't make that move. It'd be a great opportunity, but no way. No way. Crystal, that's because you're bougie now. Crystal said, I require a washer and dryer wherever I live now. Bougie. Bougie. You didn't start living high on the hog. Look at you. What's up, Jay Witt? Crystal done got bougie. Come on now. I could do without. Now, my wife might say otherwise. But, if I was just a man out here by myself, man, bare minimum, I'd probably be in a studio. I don't need much. Most men, we don't need much. You know what I'm saying? We don't need much. And nowadays, you got the Suds app. I think that's what it is, the Suds app. Or, you could go over to the laundromat, let them wash and dry. They'll wash, dry, fold, all that type of stuff for you. Drop it off. You just pick it up. Leslie Aaron said a garage too. Oh, y'all real bougie. Oh, I require a washer and dryer and a garage. Y'all bougie. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Jay with the gift and 5 ARP family memberships. Appreciate Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. God bless you, brother. If you receive one of these, y'all make sure y'all show Jay Witt some love. Make sure you show some love. Oh man, y'all something else, man. We got I didn't know we got a lot of wealthy bougie folks in the daggone chat. Lord, I didn't know. I had no idea. No idea. Man. But this daggone city councilwoman, man, I can't believe she went out there and admitted that she had zero legal authority to demand it, but she just went ahead and did it anyway. And I hope people realize and see this. And because basically what she did is she made it to where there would be fewer units, higher costs, and less affordability. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the housing crisis in a nutshell. California, New York, they just keep blocking development under the guise of protecting the community. But the real goal is protecting property values and keeping new people out. That's what this is about, man. And meanwhile, places like Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, Florida, they're deregulating and supply goes up and the rents are going to come down. It's basic economics, people, basic economics. But progressives, they keep pretending that supply doesn't matter, but it does. Supply definitely matters. And until they admit it, nothing's going to change. And that's why California is losing people by the millions, because they're in pursuit of the perfect. They've been in pursuit of perfect, and they've stopped building anything at all. Now, Dr. Kyle, I can't get with you on that. I can't get with you. AC is not a luxury. I'm sorry. It's not a luxury. It is mandatory. I gotta have, that's the one thing that I can't do without. I got to have the AC. I don't care if it's just if it's a window unit, I gotta have it. I can't be out here like that without. I can't be out here without my AC, man. I'd lose it. AC and a fan. I'm year round with the fan. I'm year round with the fan. All right, shout out to my guy Malachi with the $5 super chat. Says, good morning, what I miss, I'd email you soon. Email you soon too, Wise. I've had some busy weekends. All good, all good. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to True Witty joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. I love it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And shout out to Jay Witt, man. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love as well. Shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. Says Illinois along with our second highest property taxes. Yeah, Illinois is crazy, man. Illinois is crazy. Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels with the $5 super chat says Atlanta is full, no more traffic. Yeah, it's crazy. The crazy thing, it's crazy that you say that, man, because they're continuing to build. Where my sister lives at, the neighborhood, well, they just built a new neighborhood right next to her and it was woods. And the next time I came, I was like, yo, they got houses up already. I was like, wow. And then in the front of the neighborhood, they cleared that out because it was all woods. They cleared that out and they're putting townhouses up in the front of the neighborhood. I'm like, boy, they building like crazy out there in Georgia, man. But they don't want to expand MARTA. MARTA doesn't come all the way out it doesn't go all the way out to Rockdale County, and the traffic on 20 is insane. But the folks don't want the train out there. They don't want MARTA to come out there because they said they don't want those types of people to come out there. That's what they said. They said they don't want those types of people going out to Rockdale County, going out to Covington. Jay Witt says MARTA isn't the solution. What's the solution? Expanding. Hey, you got to get some of these folks off the road. Now, certain people just aren't going to take it no matter what, but at least make it an option. Goodness gracious. 20 is insane. What's up, True Witty with the $2 super chat says, lived in Jamaica, AC is a luxury, not needed. Yeah, I understand that. If you're in the Caribbean, yeah, you're right. If you're in the Caribbean, yeah, you know, yeah. Crystal said, nah, they don't want the YNs out there. Yeah, but they already out there. Come on now. They just had a story out in Rockdale, what was that, earlier this year, where those youngins was trying to kick in somebody's door, and the dude, he shot, did he get all of them? He might have got all 3 of them. I know for sure he got at least 1 or 2 of them. And that was in Rockdale County. And for those of y'all in the chat that's going to say, oh man, the white people out there. Nah, these ain't white folks. These are black people that live in Rockdale County. I'm just letting y'all know, because people are going to be like, oh, they said they don't want those people. No, these are black folks out in Rockdale County. Majority of Rockdale County is black. So I don't want to hear it, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's not the case. You know. Yeah, Crystal. Yeah, he did get all 3. Yeah. Uh-huh. Got all 3. They were trying to kick his door in. And that was in Rockdale County. So they already out there. Might as well go on and, hey, when they built Stonecrest or started building Stonecrest, they should have started building the extending the daggone, is that the blue line? I think that's what it is. I think it's the blue line. They should have started, soon as they started to build Stonecrest Mall, they should have started extending Martyr all the way out 20. As soon as they built it, because they knew the plan. They knew the plan. Yeah, and then the parents out there, he got all 3. And then the parents were out there like he didn't have to do what he did. They're trying to kick his door in, trying to rob this man. He didn't have to do what he did. It's crazy, man. I'm going to open it up. If you pull up, you got to pull up with the name that I see in the chat. If I don't know you, I'm not going to pull you up. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. If I don't know you, I'm not going to pull you up. But we're going to open it up. I got some time. We'll do this for about 30 minutes. Give me 1 second here. You know, it's been a little while since this is the first day back. You know, why not jump on here and show some love? You know, say what's up to my folks. Been a while. Good to see you guys. And if you haven't hit that like button already, hit that like button for me, please. If you have not. And if you have hit the like button, thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, I dropped the link in the chat. I'm about to pin it to the top there. You know, Crystal, J Witt, if you guys want to pull up for a little bit, if any of you all would like to pull up, say what's up, add anything to the show today about any of the topics that we discussed, I'd love to hear from you guys. Super thanks would be greatly appreciated. All righty. Uh-oh. I see J Witt, but I don't see him. Looks, you ain't got your lights on, bro? All right, there you go. Okay. What's going on?
I still got my bonnet on, man. I had to take my bonnet off, man.
I was like,
grace and peace, man. Good morning to you.
Man, hey, man. Grand rising to you, brother, man. What's going on?
How's it going, man?
I can't
man, okay.
Man. I'm blessed.
Excellent, man. It was good meeting you, by the way. Thank you so much for coming to the ATL. It was good to meet you last week, man, at you and Crystal. Looking forward to hopefully meeting some other content creators, but also inviting y'all back again. So shout out.
Well, we got to do a show. The next time I come down, you know, I guess I'm sure there's some podcast studios that we can rent or somewhere.
I got a studio.
Oh, well, say less.
I got a studio for us. Say less.
Let's do it.
We got you. All right. Look, I'm here. I'm team Atlanta is closed. I'm team Atlanta is closed. I don't believe, living here in Atlanta for 30 plus years, I've seen it grow from, ridiculous amounts since I came down in 93. The solution, in my opinion, is not MARTA. And the truth of the matter is, no, they don't want those people out there. And I am one of those people that don't want those people out here. I don't.
I understand.
No, I don't want them. I'm sorry. Where I live right here, we have some of those people, some of their cousins out here from south of the border. but they behave a certain way up here, and they know how to behave in Cobb County. If MARTA came through here and there wasn't a transfer station, and it's look at what they've done to Cumberland Mall, for crying out loud, because there's a transfer station right there at Cumberland Mall. It's a wreck. And Cumberland Mall used to be one of the marquees, just like Lenox, but I digress.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there needs to be a comprehensive traffic plan, and MARTA can be a part of it. Buses can be a part of it. Like Gwinnett County has a bus service into the city, and it works pretty well. But the MARTA cannot be.
But for you guys out there in Cobb County, y'all have it's Cobb County Transit, right?
Cobb County Transit, right? They transfer, so
Yeah,
MARTA
you
doesn't
transfer,
come out.
Yeah, MARTA doesn't come, but you can transfer from the MARTA station and jump on. Because I remember this from way back in the day when I used to catch the bus. I was one of those dudes catching the bus all over the place. We'd be everywhere.
Right. And hey, I caught the bus too. I had appreciation for it. However, there is something to be said about MARTA. MARTA does, I hate to say it, MARTA has a stench about it. Kind of like if you had some food in your car, left it in over the weekend, no matter how hard you clean that car out, it's going to smell like something is. It's got a stink about it. MARTA has a stink about it that people look at it as trouble, the express lane of trouble, bringing issues from inside the city, outside the city. And we see it all. I mean, we cannot pretend like there's not issues inside the city of Atlanta, inside the perimeter, that have spread out because of public transportation. Now, I'm not saying every problem person uses the public transportation, nor am I saying every driver is a saint. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, however, is public transportation does seem to bring an element. Now, so that was a traffic issue. Some of these building projects, though, I think we need to have another conversation about those as well. Just because there's land, just because there's 16 acres with some trees on it, does not mean that you need to jam 500 townhouses on it.
They're doing it though. Good.
They are, and it's
all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. Like that one right there doesn't seem to be. I think there needs to be some more study, a little bit of slower growth. I've always said this: if a business, let's say that Wise Tire Shop, you have a nice little building on the corner of wherever, and let's say Wise Tire Shop moves somewhere else, and that building is dead for a year, it's just empty. I think they should remove that building and make it available for other development, because if you go down Cobb Parkway, which is a main drag here in the north part of Atlanta, Cobb Parkway, there's tons of those dead buildings right there that are commercially zoned. Maybe you need to reconsider their zoning, and maybe those could be, because there's a lot more highway, a lot more road for traffic. It can handle it better than, just a small little sandy plains over here or scuffle grit. But you're building a 500 unit townhouses. Maybe you should build them somewhere else. I think maybe we should consider maybe rezoning some of those abandoned buildings that have been empty for some time before they become Spirit Halloween or some vape shop. Allow a developer to use that to build a reasonable size townhouse community rather than just letting it sit empty and vacant for year upon year. Because there's tons of places just right around my house that have been empty for years because they're commercially zoned and they're too big for anything else reasonable. Old motorcycle shop. I mean, it's huge. Yeah. It looks like a small Walmart. Nothing else is going to go there except community. So I think there needs to be some more consideration about it, but that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy that you bring that up, because I can't remember where this was, but it was a mall where they turned the top part of the mall into studio apartments, because a lot of the shops at the mall were closing down, and they're like, man, we got all these vacant spaces. So they took and they just built these studios inside of the mall, and now you have this kind of insulated community, because at the bottom it has a grocery store. Like, they added all these things, but at the top it was a two-story mall. Mm-hmm. And at the top you had all these studios, and they're like all right next to each other, and it was affordable housing, and they actually looked nice. It was really nice, actually. I was like, man, that's interesting. So yeah, you bring it up.
I could be open to that.
Yeah,
because Cumberland Mall is almost a ghost town in a lot of parts. They could do that at Cumberland Mall. Town Center Mall here in North Cobb is going to be like that.
Malls are ghost towns these days. Most
South
around the
Lake.
country.
I drove by South Lake this past weekend. It's looking ghost towny, but what you don't have over there is you don't have issues. You got parking. You got roads that have been going to the mall for years. So you got a lot of established structure right there that maybe you should do that rather than clearing out trees. And I think that's going to cause health problems later on down the road. Every now and then I'm a tree hugger, so don't tell nobody. Just me and you, right?
No,
so
I'm with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
like leave the trees alone.
Every crevice. I mean, they're literally carrying out, and they're dropping townhouses, dropping single family detaches, but they're all like on top of each other. It reminds me of what's going on here, but we don't have a choice because it's such a small state, and we don't have a choice but to be on top of each other. Let me bring Crystal in. What's up, Crystal? How you doing today, sister?
I am doing better.
Good.
It's so good to see you guys.
Oh, I'm gonna turn on your future camera, Crystal, so you can see your future camera.
Oh, I love the future camera. Thank you.
There you go.
Just
let me know. I got it ready for you. All right, what we got?
I have to agree with y'all. That was the reason why I fell in love with Georgia is those trees. So clearing out the trees is frustrating to me because every time I would fly over Atlanta, or if I'm leaving Atlanta, flying into Atlanta, just to see all those trees, it was something about it just kept drawing me. And I was like, I want to live here. And for them to keep clearing out all these trees, and I agree with all those abandoned buildings, use the abandoned buildings, stop clearing out the trees. We need the trees. So.
And personally, I think that's why our springs are getting worse. Just my little tinfoil hat, that the more trees you cut down, the more trees try to repopulate. And every spring, the pollen gets worse. And I think the fall pollen, because now I'm a fall allergy person and it's killing me. Because because we keep cutting down the trees.
I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you.
But yeah, I mean, like, Crystal, do you agree that maybe we should kind of slow down some of the growth?
Atlanta's full.
Atlanta's full. I'm with you then.
Full. Okay, I got in before it got too full. I got in, so Atlanta's
and I'm gatekeeping. Full. Yes, I'm gatekeeping.
Well, I mean, it's not on the list as of right now. It's not on the list of top 10 cities for people to move to.
Good.
It's actually not on the list anymore. It used to be. You remember for a long time it was on the list.
Oh yeah.
And now you have places like Huntsville, Alabama.
I agree.
That's on the list. Greenville, South Carolina is on the list.
Yeah. Yes.
That are on the list as places that you can move that are affordable.
Yes, go there. Go there, y'all. Go there.
You know, when you look at what's going on in some of these areas, especially Huntsville, you know, they just got the new Space
Force
contract or whatever that's building there. So that's going to continue to build, but it's very, very affordable. Now, I'm the same way. Every time I think about moving back home, I go there and it reminds me why I don't want to live there.
He said, reminds me why
I get reminded why I decided not to move back. And I've had a couple opportunities to move back.
Is it the traffic?
Job opportunities and things of that nature, but I get there and the traffic is insane.
I knew he was gonna say the traffic.
The traffic is insane. I'm like, man, do y'all not have jobs in the middle of the day? We're gridlocked at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday, Thursday. No one working?
No. I
hate to say it. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it.
Nobody works. I don't know I really don't know what people do here in Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
Seriously,
what they do.
I'm wondering. I'm just like, I was telling my wife, I was like, babe, you're riding the highway at 1, 2. Matter of fact, on Saturday morning, I'm going to go play pickleball up in Sandy Springs with my homeboy. And it was gridlock on 285 Saturday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, where are you going?
First mistake is that you went on 285. I don't know why you on 285.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from where I'm coming from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
it would have made
the
sense.
quickest route. I'm coming from Rockdale County, and that's come down 20.
Yeah.
It would take longer. I could cut through and probably jump on 78, but eventually I'm going to have to get on 285, and it's out the way to ride all the way to 85 and then come back north. That's out the way. So.
That is true.
Right.
But I avoid 285 at all costs.
I would just say that Saturday, that's expected. If you had said this was like Thursday, then yeah, that wouldn't have made sense. But Saturday, everybody's home, man. Everybody wants to get out and do something 8 o'clock in the morning because it's going to be hot as fish grease at 11 o'clock. So let me go ahead and get going. I just went and cut the grass at 8 o'clock this morning. And I'm like, yeah, so because it's going to be hot as sin in a few minutes. So I'm good. I'm good. So I ain't mad at them. But again, 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock on a Thursday. I don't understand. It's got me head scratching. When we went to lunch,
yeah,
Atlantic Station was not devoid of people.
No, not at all.
I'm like, I don't know what. Never mind. Let me be quiet.
But I already knew that. I already knew
crazy.
that. Everybody hangs out in this area. It's always packed. There's always people on the highway. I would be going to business meetings and I'm like trying to get by. I'm like, why is the road so full? Why are there so many people? Where are y'all going? Go do your job or something. I used to get so aggravated. So I definitely know it's always packed like that.
Yeah. And plus, the spirit over the city of Atlanta, it doesn't sit well with me. The spirit that's over the city, man, it just doesn't sit well with me. The alphabet community is super heavy.
It is.
I think I'm a superstar with designer everything. Dude, do you understand how rare it is for like up here where I live at? It's rare to see someone with some designer boots on or something. That's so rare. It's like you almost never. At most, you may see maybe a lady, with a quote unquote designer purse. Maybe it's a Coach purse or something, which I don't even know if that's even considered designer in this day and age.
Really.
In the world of Louis
Not
Vuitton
really.
and all this other kind of stuff. But the spirit that's over Atlanta, the covenant spirit, the alphabet spirit, I'm just like, nah. And I was talking to my wife. I was like, babe, not to say that we don't have that here, but it is nowhere near as prevalent. Nowhere near as prevalent up here. You could go days and not run into any of that, any of it.
I agree with you. And I see LJ, you said get out of there. It's Sodom. You know what? I'm so thankful for my pastor, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell, because that's the light that's right here in Atlanta right now. That's the light, the goodness. I don't subscribe. Y'all met me. I don't subscribe to the Louis Vuitton lifestyle. I take that very low-key lifestyle, and I mean it. I'm not into that lifestyle. I just try to live a normal life compared to some of these people, because what I've learned when I first moved to Atlanta, I told you guys I used to work for because I used to do event planning. I used to work for some of the big promoters here in Atlanta. And the one thing I learned is a lot of these people, they're making it rain in the club. They're wearing their Louis Vuitton outfits. They're wearing their Hermes and their Birkins, and they have all their shoes and the whole 9 yards. And they are sleeping on an air mattress.
Facts.
They are sleeping on the floor. They are begging a lodge at somebody's house because they have no place to live. But they will take all of their money that they earn to go and see and be seen in the club at wherever is the hottest place to be seen. They'll go, like how they have flex car, they'll go rent a high-end car just so that they can be seen. Somebody told me before I moved to Atlanta is the land of smoke and mirrors. And I was like, when I got here, I didn't understand it until I moved here. And I was just like, oh, so to me, if you're here, it's better for you to just be you. Don't try to compete with anybody. Don't try to fall in line with none of it, because it's ridiculous. You're going to go broke trying to keep up. You're going to frustrate yourself trying to keep up. And you don't want any of those people that move in that lifestyle either. I like me being single. I never want to be around. Like, I don't want a man that's interested in the women, as they call the female starter pack, which is the 22, 24-inch hair with the bodycon dress and the 6-inch heels. I'm never going to be that girl.
Is crazy.
I'm not going to be that girl. So if you're interested in that kind of girl, then you go that way. I'm not interested in that type of man. So you just got to know who you are to be able to be here. If you don't know who you are, you'll probably get lost.
Yeah. And I'm a pretty low-key person. And, you meet people, you run across people, because, I did go to high school there. And I'd run across people, that I went to high school with, the first thing they want to know, what do you do? Like trying to judge you to try to see, what kind of money you make, and they're trying to compare and compete, and it's just, yeah, it's a different place, man. It really is.
It is.
It's a different place.
So,
And you could
I
get caught
think
up in it too. There's a lot of people that don't move there like that, but they move there and get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying?
I think Atlanta has a very, and I've been wanting to do like a study of this. Atlanta was in a very interesting crossroads. Before the Olympics, Atlanta was nothing like what we're talking about now. The Olympics, Atlanta is one of the few cities that benefited greatly from the Olympics. Most Olympic cities go bankrupt. They never recover the money. Atlanta is one of the few, and by the skin of his teeth. But also Atlanta's airport really was a ram in the bush, if you will, to help. Now, for Black folk, I don't know if y'all remember, but Atlanta was like the record capital. It was like the mini Motown for up and coming R&B, up and coming rap in the 90s, going into the 2000s.
Yeah.
So word on the street was, come to Atlanta. If you can't make it in New York, because if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. The moniker kind of became, well, go to Atlanta. If you can't make it in New York, go to Atlanta to make it. And there's so many record studios and recording studios here. It's ridiculous. Now, fast forward to about the 2019s, a lot of those studios were closed down. A lot of those studios, that era had kind of moved on. What did they do? They became podcast studios. There's a ton of them now. They used to be recording studios. But the people never left because, Atlanta was fairly inexpensive. And when I came down here, it was very inexpensive to live here and to do whatever you wanted to do. It was great. And now I think what we're seeing is life. Atlanta's catching up with life, and life is life to Atlanta. And so it is expensive. It is congested and all this kind of stuff like that. And people are second guessing about why I live here. Just go ahead and leave. I do suggest, and if you live in Atlanta and you're conflicted, go ahead and leave. Just go ahead. We are not going to be upset. We will not be mad at you. We'll still invite you to the cookout, everything like that, but just go. And I think it would be beneficial. Atlanta needs to have a come to Jesus. Like, there's some people here just don't want to be here. And with that being the case, I think also there needs to be a revitalization of what do we do here? Because there's a lot of people. I have no idea what you do. I have no clue what you do.
From Martin.
You just ask them. Honestly, you'll get the while I was working in commercial real estate, I would meet the majority were either rappers, producers, photographers, models, fitness instructors. You definitely have to have the fitness instructors. Entrepreneurs, consultants. Those right there were all of the top and tech. Those were the top industries of what people were working in when you ask them, especially if you see them out and about, and you're like, why am I always seeing you? Why am I seeing you?
I see you.
That's the thing too, though. You meet people that are in tech. I mean, as someone that worked in that space for a long time, I'm used to, people like, I work in tech. And I think a lot of times people hear that and they assume that you make a lot of money because you're in tech. But I'm one of those, and I guess I got to stop doing that, because I'll ask, what do you do in tech? Because the thing is that most people don't really know tech. So if you're not in the space, you really don't know the space. So I ask a question, and, then I get told like, oh yeah, I'm a desktop support.
Okay. That's not tech.
IT support, got it.
Right. Yeah, that's not tech.
That's tech. It is tech, but it
is okay.
It's the lower.
It's a support.
It's the lower end of that, because you have on the help desk side of things, and anybody in the chat that is in help desk, I'm not saying this to denigrate you guys, but you got levels. There's levels to it. So you got level 1, which basically are the people that you would call when you need a password reset. They work with the Active Directory and things of that nature. They can reset your password and things of that nature. And that's pretty much about it. They do password resets. They'll do new accounts. You know, when somebody gets hired and they need a new account, new email address, and all that type of stuff. They do that. That's your tier 1 help desk support. And then you got tier 2 that gets escalated, and they can do a little more. And then from there, you start getting into your network admin or system admin, depending on the environment that you're in, and you kind of go from there. But again, it ain't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing that and it supports you and your family, God bless you. I appreciate it. But it's too much stunting and flexing going on for me. Entirely too much stunting and flexing going on. And I actually like living in somewhat of a blue collar, grittier town. You know what I'm saying?
That's
where
fair.
people are proud of the fact that, hey, I know I don't got a whole lot, but I'm very, very blessed to have what I do have. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't trying to act like they got more than what they have. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. I appreciate
I
it.
agree with you on that. It gets
Absolutely.
it gets pretentious. It gets annoying. You know, a lot of the times it really does. And you know, because I live in the midst of it all, right smack dab in the mess of it,
Yeah, you
and
do.
and it gets annoying. It does get annoying. I see it often, but I guess I don't mind it. I guess you remove stuff. I mean, you trade stuff off for convenience. I guess that's the best way to say it, because for me, I'm like 15 minutes out from everything that I need to be near. So to get to meet you guys, that was a quick hop, skip, and a jump. To get to, like, I want to go to Cumberland Mall or go visit my son, it's like a hop, skip, and a jump. To get to Sandy Springs is a hop, skip, and a jump. So I'm like smack dab in the middle. So it's like, but I have a friend who lives in what is that place down south, something with an M.
Macon or
No,
McDonough?
McDonough. He lives in McDonough.
McDonough's nice.
And it
McDonough's
is
nice.
so beautiful. Whenever
It's so
I
far away
visit
from
him,
everything, though.
it is so far away. When at his house, it is so quiet. Like at nighttime, it's quiet. You will hear the leaves rustling. You will hear like a deer running through the grass. Like you hear that type of
the
stuff.
crickets and
Yeah,
all
and
of
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
that's kind of nice. So it's like, would you rather trade off your convenience for quiet, or would you rather trade off quiet for convenience? And I'm still wrestling with that mess right now.
I can dig it. I got a question for you guys. Earlier in the show, I was talking about the young lady out there in Charlotte, that was killed by the mentally disturbed individual out there on the train. Jason, I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then, out here where I live at, in Anne Arundel County, the young lady that was dumped off the side of the bridge, over off of Route 50 down in Annapolis by illegal immigrant, and crickets, from mainstream media, nothing from Black Lives Matter. What are your thoughts on any of that?
That's normal, because
It's normal if they don't care. They don't care. So Black Lives Matters and mainstream media does not care. What needs to happen is we, the great unwashed, the goyim, just the average everyday public, need to be upset and outraged about this, about the fact that Black Lives Matters will not say anything and will do it proudly, say nothing until a white cop does something to a black person. Then all of a sudden they materialize like they were on the Enterprise somewhere and they got beamed down somewhere. Y'all need to stop supporting these clowns. You need to. And you need to make your voice heard even in the mainstream media. How is it that 11 Alive News, Atlanta News First, and Fox News are not talking about what has happened? And you need to make that, however you go about doing that, letter writing campaign, shooting an email, standing outside, or turning it off the TV. One or the other, maybe all. But at some point, it's going to be us. We are going to make the change. We cannot expect BLM to do the right thing. If you're sitting there expecting BLM to get saved and regenerated and actually start behaving in a proper way, sir, ma'am, please. If you're expecting mainstream media and your black activist leaders to actually do the right thing, ma'am, sir, please stop it.
Where's Al
Get some help.
Sharpton at? Where's Al Sharpton stumping for Dakara Thompson?
Why do you even care about Al Sharpton? I'm sorry. Al Sharpton is pointless. He's not your leader.
No, he's not.
My name is Jason, dearwokec@gmail.com. Al Sharpton is not your leader. You don't see white people talking about white leaders.
Question for you.
Oh, okay. I'm
that's
sorry.
Where I was going. That's where I was going. You know, why do we need a leader in the Black community?
We don't.
Who's the Asian Pacific Islander leader? Who's the you know, white leader? Who's the you know, Hispanic, Mexican,
right?
Dominican leader? Who is that person? Who are those people historically? Why are we the only demographic of people in the country that quote unquote need a leader?
Because we don't want to stand together and speak up together. As Jason said, to cut off the TV, to make them feel something, to support something like BLM, who has done nothing but fill their pockets and buy beautiful mansions for them to live in. I don't understand why anybody would support them. To support people like Al Sharpton, who only shows up when it's convenient for him. Dakara, beautiful young woman, lost her life. Everyone should be shouting from the rooftops about the wrong that has happened. This woman is no longer alive. They should be talking about the arena in North Carolina. They should be speaking about these people, but they're not. They should be talking about what happened in Philly, which I'm definitely doing a video on all three of them. That execution that took place in Philly, that in broad daylight on the street, is craziness. But again, that's the lawlessness that is happening. And if anybody does not believe that the people in the Democratic Party is not all a machine behind that, then I don't know what to tell you, because none of them, CNN, MSNBC, none of these people are covering any of these things. They're not talking about these things. They're not, you don't hear none of the senators, you hear nobody speaking about these people, because it goes against what they're trying to fight against. So free DC and no troops in the ground, like Brandon Johnson was saying about no troops in the ground. If he keeps saying that, then you talk about what happened to Dakar, what happened to Arena, that contrasts with his topic, his talking point. But the reality is there needs to be troops in the ground, because people are losing their lives daily. Parents are burying their children. Dakar's parents has to bury their child. She was going out to get gas. They have to bury their child. The people in Chicago are burying their children daily. The people in these blue cities are burying their children daily. This is ridiculous. And at this point, people need to stand up. God is a God of law and order. He is a God of order, not chaos. And this is pure chaos and confusion. And all I can say is, rest in peace to those people. I feel so bad that all of them are gone. And those was all three of those were brutal deaths.
Yes, absolutely. Before you go, Jason, let me read a couple super chats real quick. Shout out to Malachi with $2 super chat. Says, you'll see bomb trucks on 285. We have to take. Okay. Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat. Says, ain't no future in your frontin', MC Breed 19. Oh, LJ with the MC Breed quote. Right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She went back on us. She went way back. Shout out to Eric Smith with the $5 super chat. Says, that judge also happens to be the director of the treatment center for mental health. Something to think about. That's interesting. I want to bring Israel Pena up. And while I'm bringing him up, Jason, you have daughters. And Crystal, you had mentioned that Dakara told her father that she was going to get gas after 12 o'clock at night. Jason, as a father, of two daughters, is that something that's going to fly in your household? Dad, I'm leaving to go get gas at 12:30 at night. You know what I'm saying? Is that something that's going to fly?
I pump gas in our house.
Boom.
So you just come home and say, Dad,
so what
Dad,
you're doing
I
is
don't.
setting the standard. So when they get, husband pumps gas in the house.
And no, you don't pump gas. You come home, tell me, Dad, I need gas in my car. Not a problem. In the morning, Dad, there's gas in my car. Yeah. My wife don't pump gas. My big girl don't pump gas. Chief executive second won't pump gas. I want my mom to stop doing it, but she's hard-headed, but we'll just pray for her. But no, we don't. She don't even live here. I mean, she'll live around me. She's down the street. But no. And for God's sake, there's no way in the world you're going to pump gas at midnight. Just give that up.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, at very
the story. This is the story, and I'm going to bring Israel up here. And you know what, we'll put them in the 4 boxes. But the story is, and what's going on, Israel? How you doing, brother? Amen.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Appreciate you pulling up. But the story and the word is that she shot a text message to her father, "Hey, I'm going to pump gas." But it doesn't say that she actually went to pump gas. She parked her car and then walked to go get into the car with this Hugo fella, and they went back to his spot. So my concern is, and I talked about this earlier, is that one, you got to protect your daughters and tell them, it's sad that this is a story that is going to have to be used as a lesson to some other young ladies out there. And honestly, regardless of age, you can't just be meeting people. We don't know how she met. I would assume that it's going to come out that maybe she met, maybe out and about, or maybe it was online or something along those lines. But
that's crazy.
You can't just be going out meeting people at 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, especially people that you don't know like that. And then y'all go back and they said that they, there was some form of intercourse or something like that going on. I'm like, we got to teach these young women and young men, because I tell my son as well, I have boys, hey, there ain't nothing good going on at 12 o'clock at night or later. There's nothing going on. You need to be in the house, bruh. Bring your tail home. But Israel, I want you to get in there. Did you have a question for any of us or anything that you'd like to say?
Well, first of all, I just want to let you know that.
Oh, no.
All righty.
Okay.
And your show. Thank you so much.
All right. You cut out on us, so I didn't hear what you said.
I was getting a spam call, and I just turned it off. No, I was going to say, I said that it's an honor because this is for you to let me be on, because this is the first time I've ever been on a either a radio call, podcast, whatever. This is my very first time, and I love your show, and I mean I'm pretty in line with you, and my heart goes out to the families of that girl. But my point, sir, is on the taxes. You were talking about property taxes, and it's strangely enough, a while ago, I was just talking to my wife. She called me from home because I'm retired. I'm a retired teacher, public school, 33 years. And
oh wow, thank you for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. She just called me and she told me, hey, I'm just getting ready to pay the taxes, and my goodness, I live in Texas, okay, San Antonio, and the property taxes over here are outrageous, okay, and I'm just wondering this property taxes. What is it that they pay for when we pay them? What do they pay for? And I'm wondering. What's question one, and then also over here in Texas, we don't have an income tax, so I'm afraid. Okay, they'll take away our property taxes, but then they'll stick us. I mean, they're gonna find a way to stick us somehow, and that's what I'm afraid of. So, what do these taxes pay for? And if all of a sudden there was no more property taxes, what is it that we're going to lose out on, or things, something like that?
All righty, go for it, Jason.
The biggest and probably the worst is the schools in your neighborhood.
Very high.
Your fire departments and your police department.
Okay.
Those are the three most glaring. Now, there's tons of other little services that will go along with that. Your streets, your lights on your streets and things of that nature. But those are probably the biggest three. And the only reason I bring this up is because we have our tax bill sitting on the dining room table and we looked at it last night. So I'm aware of it. So those are probably the three biggest to help you out. And again, I'm sure there's other little ancillaries, or maybe local hospitals probably get some funds from that, but that's part and parcel.
And what would, if we were to not pay those taxes, what would end up paying for that, or how would they fund those items?
There's an assumption that they would actually be funded.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure if you don't pay your property tax, they're going to end up taking your property.
Right.
Right.
So they're going to take your property
the other
for
thing
those
too
taxes.
is that property taxes will probably always continue. Prime example, if you have a 15 or 30-year mortgage, maybe your property tax, you only pay property tax as the owner of the home until your mortgage is paid, right? But if you sell your house, are you not going to, whoever buys it, they're going to pay property tax for the next 15 or 30 years.
Well, wait, hold on. Well, hold on. If you own your house and you pay it off in 15 years, on year 16, you're paying your property tax. Your mortgage
I'm
company.
I'm saying if they eliminate the property tax, like in the state of Florida, they're working
Trying to get rid
towards
of it.
eliminating property tax in general. Once you
Yeah,
pay
they
your
are.
house off, you no longer have any more property tax. The goal was that they're trying to do it. Texas said that they were looking at doing it by 2031 to implement this. So my thoughts is that one, property tax will always be paid because as soon as you sell your house, whoever buys it, they're going to pick up and start paying property tax over the 15, 30 years. Now, I do think that it would incentivize people to take on those 15-year mortgages
Pay them off
over the
quicker.
30 years so you can pay it off so you can get quicker to not paying property tax. But I would also assume that in places like Texas that you're probably going to see that no state tax go away. The other thing is that you're going to see probably more things like gambling in Texas because I know right now they don't have casinos, but the people that own the Dallas Mavericks right now are pushing heavy for gambling in the state of Texas. So you start adding those casinos in. You add them in Dallas, you add them in Houston, you add them in San Antonio, Austin, and some of these other places around. Those casinos bring money, but the thing is that that's a tax, but you're just paying a tax in another way. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to get paid in one way or another.
That's
Well, and yeah, let me also add, it'll probably turn into a sales tax.
That too.
So, I mean, that's another way that they fund a lot of these other small little projects as well is sales tax. You might see a 2% sales tax or whatever percent sales tax or introduction of vices. I don't know where you all what your community's like with dispensaries and such of that nature. Those are just taxes on vices.
Yeah.
Allowing somebody to buy weed and all that kind of stuff. That's just a tax on vices. Just like gambling's a tax on vices.
Tax on vices,
Lotteries,
absolutely.
those are tax on vices.
Yeah.
I think we'll see that. We'll see that because I know here in our state, I don't know if they will get rid of the property tax, but I know our property tax hasn't gone crazy because they legalized marijuana. We got dispensaries, so there's tax on that. Obviously you got your alcohol tax. They potentially raise the tax on your fuel, so raise that fuel tax up. And then they added all these casinos and they added sports betting. So they're making money all kinds of ways in this day and age. So I would assume that down in Texas, especially if they can get those casinos passed, and they want them passed. The people with the money out there, they want it passed. And, those casinos, I know here in Maryland, one of the casinos brings in $30 million a month. It's booming. And it's crazy. Now, I went to the casino once when it first opened, lost $100 in 5 minutes. I ain't been back since. I was like, man, y'all are crazy. I don't know how, but there are people that live in those places, man. They live and they're open 24/7. They live in those places, man.
That's the same thing in Florida because I remember in Florida, people lived in the casinos in Florida. They don't like you. It doesn't matter what hour you're going to find people in the casinos in Florida. So that's the thing.
Absolutely.
We don't have casinos yet, but I guess like what you're speaking of, however, we do have out close to the border to Mexico. There's a town called named Eagle Pass, and they have a casino out there, but it's on an Indian reservation.
Yes.
And that's
that's how they were now. But when they see I'm sure they know how much money that thing is making. They're like, why we're allowing this money to go over there? Why why are we allowing this money? Because that's what happened here in Maryland. People were going up to Delaware and they were going to West Virginia, and they're like, we have people here in Maryland that gamble, and they're driving to Delaware and they're driving to West Virginia. We're gonna keep that money right here.
Yes, the taxes over here in Texas, the property taxes are really high. And I mean, my wife and I were fortunate enough to have some like rental properties. So, I mean, you add those up and every year, and I mean, I could buy a nice car, it's insane. And yes, I didn't get your name, the gentleman that was giving me the information. What's that? Jason. Yes, Jason. The main expense is our school district, big time. But I'm 61, and when I turn 65, that goes away. That one goes away for me, but only on my homestead. I don't know if you know they use that word
Yep.
over there, but only on my homestead, not on my rentals.
Not on your rentals. No.
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 and it's like it's insane, guys. It's like, oh my goodness. But I'm just like, man, I just hope every now and then they talk about an income tax, state income tax. We don't have that yet, thankfully. But thanks for the information, guys.
Yeah, no worries, man. Appreciate you, Israel. Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. When are you gonna visit us in when are you gonna visit your cousin in San Antonio?
You know what? I've been telling him for a little minute. I'm gonna have to get down there to come check him out. When I do, I will let you know. We can link
And we'll
up.
go have some breakfast tacos.
Okay,
Oh.
that sounds good.
Nice.
All right, Israel. Take care, brother.
Thank you.
Grace and peace, man.
Thanks.
Breakfast
Sounds good.
tacos.
I like him.
Yeah.
Oh, I love what people are saying because they were talking about if you don't pay them property taxes, that's the quickest way to lose your house. I'm telling you, I know
it's
some people
definitely.
here.
How many
I know
families
some
have lost
people-
their homes behind
because
that? You
people
know,
go do that. They look
Yeah.
for those people who don't pay their property taxes and start paying
Yeah.
their property taxes for them and then snatch up that house from them real quick.
they'll snatch your house up. Absolutely, man.
Mhm.
Absolutely. But and that's why you're starting to see, because even down in Georgia, you know, and I was talking to my pops and he was like, man, they want to bring some casinos, you know, into the state to bring more money in, because come on now, the people are gambling, but they're driving to North Carolina. They're driving,
Yes.
you know, to a few places, you know, out there, some of the Indian reservations out there. And they're like, man, we're letting this money leave the state. We're letting it leave. So we might as well go on and keep it right here. Let me pull up LS. Let me see if he's ready. I'll pull him up. LS is out of Atlanta. You know, he is like, hey,
Well, the players
now
play.
I will say this. All right, he ready? All right. What's up, LS? How you doing, brother? Uh-oh.
Man, trying to get in. Can you hear me? I'm in a
Yeah, I can
bad
hear
area.
you just fine, man. I can hear you fine. How you doing this morning?
Hey, man.
Appreciate y'all letting me come up. I'm glad y'all let the person from Atlanta speak on Atlanta. But I do agree that that we are full, and we need a stop sign put up on 285 and 75 and 85 to stop people from coming here. 22. Let me not leave out 20. But yeah, man, it's I don't think it's affordable here. And as somebody that's been here my whole life, dude, this is ridiculous. We can't leave out Rock. They are major contributors to why is this expensive. Not just in Atlanta, everywhere. You know, they've raised the prices in California. People sell there, and then they can just come here and buy straight out, which is their option to do, but it drives up the market here.
No, true. Well, there's a lot of, I mean, think about it, you know, if you've been in, you know, you sound like you're born and raised, you know, in the A, but think about how many people moved down there from New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts during the 90s, like right around the Olympics or right
Olympics.
after. I mean, how many people from, you know, New York, Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, you know, that moved down in that same boat, you know, sold houses, were able to come down, either put heavy, you know, down payments down or almost pretty much buy their home outright. And now I look at it as someone that lives in the mid-Atlantic. This isn't the Northeast, it's the mid-Atlantic, but the cost of living up here is still more expensive than it is down there.
Yes.
And I look at it and I'm like, man,
Is it?
that's actually affordable. Yeah, it is. I'm looking at and
So
I'm like,
do you
yo,
think a 3-bedroom? You think
Go
a
for it.
3-bedroom apartment, 3,500, is affordable in Atlanta?
no,
I mean,
I think that's crazy.
It's
But
a
I also
crazy.
think, like, where is that 3,500 at? Is that in, you know, in like the Buckhead area? Is that in, you know, where is that at? Is that in more of the ritzier area, or is that in more of the what do you call that? The middle class or lower middle class, upper middle class area? Because I mean, I'm looking at, you know, I looked at some houses in Atlanta. I haven't looked at the rentals, but I've looked at just the houses itself. But, you know, in around the AU Center and some of those places that, man, you could buy a house for $250, $260. And it's already completely, you know, remodeled and everything. They've done the work. Now, I don't know how great the work is done, because I know a lot of times these folks, man, they be tossing them things up, you know,
they
really
do.
quickly.
Is that a new house or something that's existing?
Well, it was an older home, but it's been remodeled. like maybe one of the fix and flipper type.
I got you.
Oh, LS having some technicals. We'll pull him up if he's ready. But and I've got a chance to see it. And there, I found some decent spots, that were right around the AU Center, maybe within 5 to 10 miles, of the AU Center down that way. And they were 3-4 bedrooms and between 250 and 300. And when I look at in this day and age, I see something that's between 250 and 300. I'm like, that's affordable.
It is.
Because up here, you're not getting anything. Not right now. You're not buying anything between 250 and 300. That's I take that back. In Baltimore City, you can, but you playing with your life. You know what I'm saying? In those areas where you can buy something for that. And dude, it will be nice. Matter of fact, there's a place out here called Pigtown. It's actually not that far away from me. It's maybe, I don't know, mileage-wise, it's maybe 10 miles away from where I live at, mileage-wise. Okay. But it probably takes about 30 minutes with the traffic to whatever to get down there. Dude, they're redoing entire blocks because they're trying to get people to move back to the city, but it's not safe for people to move back to the city. Baltimore City lost almost 400,000 people. You know what I'm saying? That just moved out the city. So like even for me, like I live inside the Beltway, but I still live in the county. And but I was looking at maybe buying some rentals and things of that nature in the city. And you can find 220, 230, and they're fully these are row homes. If you know anything about the city, they're row homes. And but they're big. You know what I'm saying? They're tall. Most of them are going to be 3 levels. Some are going to be 4, but they're going to be deep too. And they're completely refurbished and they are nice. But you can't walk outside at night. You know what I'm saying?
Again, you have to trade what you trade.
So you trade. Yeah, there's some trade-offs. And then if you got kids in school, the public schools aren't great there. So you need to kind of account for the fact that, hey, if I'm sending my kids to a good school, you're probably paying for private school if you live there. But they're trying to get people to move back to the city. Like if you live inside of the Beltway or actually live in Maryland, they would sell you a house for $1.
Yep.
They would sell it to you for $1. You just had to, and they would help you get the, because it's not a traditional loan mortgage. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but where you could use that money to refurb the house. You could buy them for $1. Outsiders, they were selling them for $1,000. So they're trying to incentivize people, but the crime is so bad that people, even for me, I go down to the Inner Harbor, Harbor East, Fells Point. That's like it's on the water and that's more your upper echelon areas. And even then you want to be there during the daytime. When the sun starts to set, it's time to roll. Seriously.
Wow.
It's time to get up out of there when the sun starts to set because these folks don't know how to act, man. They don't know how to act. They be out here, carjacking and carrying on. It's crazy. Yeah, it is wild. There was a young kid not too long ago, maybe over the summer, was shot and killed. He tried to carjack an older man and the dude defended himself, shot and killed him. Of course, the people got out there. He was a great student, this, that, and the third, but he out here robbing. Of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and everybody's just like what? This dude's carjacking. Now, mind you, this wasn't even at night. This happened broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? This was in the middle of the day when this happened.
Of course, he was an excellent student. Great.
Of course, he was, and Mama was, he didn't have to do him like that and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, Lord have mercy. Like, come on now.
Around the corner from me, near my sister's job, they're building new townhomes, and the townhomes started at $950,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
wow,
no one was buying it, so they dropped it down to $800,000 now. I'm going to see how much.
$750,000.
And I'm trying to see how much lower they're going to go. But again, like you were just saying, it's the area because like across the street from where I live right now, there's townhomes that are for sale and they're easily like $1 to $2 million for the townhome. So it's again where you choose to live. Will I buy a house? Person. Well, listen, I rent here. I I don't buy here. There now. What LS was saying, there's apartments on either side of me. I was not buying that, Jason. That's
Crystal fancy, y'all.
It's a 3-bedroom.
Put fancy in the chat. It's Crystal fancy.
3-bedroom 3-bedroom apartments, and they were going for like $7,000 a month, $9,000 a month, and I was like,
I want to know who's paying for that. Who can afford that?
Oh, they were rented.
They're fancy people.
Wow. Okay.
Fancy people.
We got LS. LS, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I
Yeah, we
coming
can hear
in?
you just fine, man.
Hello? All right, so yeah, in my neighborhood, we're actually on the border of my neighborhood, at the top of my street. Some Africans came in and they built 2 homes where there was one old home. They tore that home out, got it out of there, right? They built 2 homes. They're charging $1 million a piece. They were on the market before they even started building the homes. They still on the market. It's been a year. The house next door to me, it just got remodeled. They asking for $500. I stay in city of South Fulton now. It was unincorporated Fulton County, Atlanta, but not proper Atlanta, right? And bro,
Now there is some
that's still empty.
gentrification going on. There is some gentrification going on.
Some.
Well, I'm gonna say some. There's a lot of gentrification going on, but unfortunately, it only happens because people allow the communities to go so far down that it gives people an opportunity to move back to the city. And the thing is that there's a lot of people that want to live in the city, but they have been ran out of the city for a multitude of reasons. And now things have gotten so bad that you can buy a house down there for, pennies and then flip it and things of that nature.
That's true.
I'm talking about those that do that do the buy and flips and things of that nature.
Yep.
They're out there.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, no doubt
Especially,
they are. But
think about Old Stewart Ave, which is now Metropolitan Ave. Think about that. Think about what Stewart Ave was in that whole area over in there, which is it's changing. It has actually changed a decent amount. It has changed, but the reason why it changed because back in the day, bruh. You from down there, so you already know you couldn't ride up and down Stewart Ave back in the day. It was wild.
Oh no, they didn't put a police precinct.
Oh yeah, they changed it because people said, you know what, we're going to go buy those places. We are going to turn the neighborhood around. I mean, you can't be mad at the folks with the money.
I did
seeing it and saying, you know what, we're going to do something different.
You see what Yup put into the chat. It's true, especially with the 2026 World Cup hosting. There's going to be a lot of shifting and a lot of improvements going to be happening and different. Because I know that some of it is going to be here in Atlanta, so they're going to switch up a whole bunch of stuff just to make it better for the people that will be coming in.
Hold on a second, guys. Keep going. I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just like the Olympics, it's going to bring a new influx of people right after the World Cup. To go back what you were saying, Jay Witt, about what happened after the Olympics, I believe that was the time. As a matter of fact, I know that was the time for MARTA to expand if it was going to expand. I personally believe that MARTA has no intentions of expanding because they want to keep the money and just pay the people that work there. And by pay the people that work there, I'm not talking about the bus drivers. I'm not talking about MARTA police. I'm not talking about the janitors and everybody else that work for MARTA. I'm talking about the execs. I don't know if I'm sure y'all probably are familiar with the story where the I think the head exec killed him. Well, we were told that he unalived himself by jumping in front of a MARTA train. I don't know how much I believe that, but nevertheless, he's no longer here. Maybe his conscience ate at him, or maybe he wasn't going to go along with the plan of just continually siphoning money out of, the communities here and not expanding like they should. But the property costs so much now, it's going to be devastating for MARTA to try and buy up property and then expand the rail lines in any direction.
I agree.
They so behind, man. They should have started this a long time ago, bro.
Yeah,
they should have started a long time ago.
25, 30, 35 years ago, they should have started.
But of course, people, like Jason, he didn't want those people out in his community.
I don't want the element. I don't want the element, man. I don't want the element. But the problem is, I'm willing to say that. And we need to say there's certain elements that because I want to talk about this gentrification issue real quick, because I do have to hop off. But I do want to talk about this. Like, at some point, we're going to have to look in the mirror and say, why are we allowing our community to be run down by us to the point that people can scoop in and buy a house for $1? They can swoop in and buy a whole block for a Happy Meal. Like, what are we doing? Why are we allowing this to happen to our community? Go look over there by Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz, all of that used to be hood and Big Mama's house and the local crack house. And now it is gentrified. I think they might have put a Starbucks down there, man. They might put a Lululemon store down there. You know good and well that place has been changed up. And the AUC Center, they got the sites on them too. I've done videos where I've driven around there. Bro, it looks like a third world country outside of Morehouse and Clark. It looks like a whole nother country. You don't.
Well, it's
you don't
already
believe
happening though. It's
right.
already,
You don't believe
the
it.
gentrification is happening.
I mean, not anymore.
No,
Not
go
anymore.
past MLK. Go outside of MLK, right out there where that Walmart market is, just north of the Walmart market to the west of the Mercedes-Benz. That's a whole nother world. That's a whole. I would sing the Disney song, "A Whole New World." That's a different place, bro. You got your passport to go there, man. They checking your ID to go in there. That's what I'm saying.
That's not too far from where Miss Johnston was killed by the police. That's talking about the bluff where the triangle starts and goes all the way up to Tennessee. I think it was meth. As a matter of fact, there was also a white guy who, came up and picked up his package, some heroin, and just ran completely over some kids, and he's in jail, never to get out. But, I'm just describing the area. So yeah, it was rough, but where I live is nothing like that. Nothing like that. And we got $2 million homes that were built and aren't selling. Nobody's coming to see them.
But the market will decide that as well, though. The market will decide, and those prices will come down.
They will.
Respectfully, if you build a $2 million home and it doesn't sell, you shouldn't have built a $2 million home.
Absolutely.
Or you didn't build a $2 million home. You didn't build a $2 million home. You built what a home that the market will buy. So if they buy it for 1.7, that's the house that you built.
And the thing is,
but he said it's two homes on the property, right?
It's
two
1 million.
homes.
Yeah, it's 2 homes
worth $1 million apiece. Got you.
Right, but I bet you is your neighborhood a $1 million home neighborhood?
That's what I was going to say. If the neighborhood is not 1 million, and like if the other houses are like 500,000 and 400,000, 700,000, the comps will match.
The comps not going to match. Nobody going to buy.
That's what. If you remember, there was a season here in Atlanta where they would buy a house and tear it down and build what's called a mansion. They would build this house completely out of proportion to the neighborhood, and they would just build it there. And you better live there forever because the neighborhood is never going to catch up. Yep. And that trend has gone away. So those houses, those mansions, are sitting there in the midst of a neighborhood that they're completely out of pocket.
They don't fit, yeah.
And they don't fit.
And that's what happened to Kirkwood.
Right. And that's what I think happened with those two houses that you're referring to, LS. If they're not, if they were worth $1 million, they would have been bought by $1 million already.
Yes.
They would have been bought.
Oh, true. And look, I'm looking at them, and if I had $1 million just to throw away, I wouldn't have bought either of them, because you look at the homes, when you come into my neighborhood, we all have yards, front yards and backyards that would eat both of those houses. So it's not even proportion to the area. They just figured they could come in and capitalize because they saw what the market was doing, and it's not gonna welcome them at the
market
number
will
that
yield
they
it.
wish.
Yes.
The market will yield it. But Jason, I know you got to get up out of here. I want to pull up Malachi. Appreciate you pulling up as well, LS, man. Appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Thank you very much, brother.
All right.
We'll get you back on next time, man. Take care.
For sure.
All right, let me pull Malachi up real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here. What's up, Malachi? How you doing, brother?
What up? Let me know if you can hear me.
I can hear you just fine, man.
Awesome. So Luke's is working today. Hey, Crystal. How's it going with y'all today?
Good.
Doing well, man.
Yeah, just got done inspecting the trailer, so that was good timing. So, I got about an hour of cushion here, but I won't hold y'all long because I know the show's been going on, about 3 hours now?
Yeah, almost 3 hours.
So, but Illinois, man, let me tell you, when you go from north to south, man, it's a whole different breed. So everything y'all are describing about the Atlanta metro and the cities and whatnot pretty much sounds like Chicago. Chicago's pretty much in the same game. It's just with what they're going through right now, you're seeing a lot more rundown properties. You're just seeing they don't even have money to tear stuff down that's abandoned now, unlike Detroit, which has been cleaning up pretty good. So they got that going on. And then I just came from there this weekend and was in St. Louis a couple of days before. And man, what you're paying for what you get in Chicago for what's going on, it's outrageous. It's becoming the next California, to say the least. Not just in politics, but you see it in the cost of living, versus down here in Central Illinois. I'm here in Bloomington Normal. I'm home right now for the moment. When I was in my apartment before I went fully mobile, I was only paying about $725 a month for my spacious one bed apartment, which should now be $900 nowadays. One as nice as the apartment I was in. If say it was in the city of Chicago, we're just gonna have fun and do South Side of Chicago. It'd be about $1,400
in the South Side.
Wow.
Yeah, in the South Side. Yeah, in a similar house in a similar area. Average. Not the best area, but in a safe little pocket. Yeah, it'd run you about $1,400 in South Chicago. If it's an unsafe area, maybe $1,000 if you're lucky.
Wow.
So that's what it's running now. And then, part of that is because of the crazy property taxes. Chicago's got the worst of the worst. It's almost up there with New Jersey property taxes, because New Jersey's that's still at the top of the list. Illinois is right below that. And when I mentioned that number 2 earlier in the chat, that's just for the state. That's not for the Chicago area.
That's
they got it
the
much
city.
worse than we do.
Yeah, they got their own thing too.
They're high down here in Central Illinois, and I'm sure they're high in Southern Illinois too. That's why they got so many things against Chicago down that way. Marion, Mount Vernon, and whatnot. But it's not nearly as bad as up there. I used to want to live in Chicago just because the atmosphere and environment. But it's crazy how much it just changed in the last 2 years. 2 years. Forget the pandemic. 2 years. It's been absolute insanity. So I'm just happy to be striving down here in Central Illinois. When I come home on the weekends, it's quiet. It's just college town here in Normal. So we pretty much get what we pay for when it comes to downstate, or at least Central Illinois. But I feel for the Chicagoans because I got some family up there, very little. But a lot of them flocked to Minneapolis, and now they got their thing going on too.
Oh, it's bad up there too. Sheesh.
Yeah, I would still live in the Twin Cities area at least. Maybe not Minneapolis or St. Paul, but one of their nicer suburbs. At least it's not as bad as Chicago right now. I'm hoping that they get some stuff figured out there, because what happens directly up there happens indirectly down here, and I'm starting to see it happen. So I'm actually actively I'm over the road right now. I'm actually about to head to Denver this week. I'm looking out for this dedicated route that we got out of Anderson, Indiana, because not only is Indianapolis' house prices a lot better, especially with the way they run things, but Anderson's house prices are good too, and that's about 45 minutes to an hour out of Indianapolis.
Indiana's on that list of affordable states to live in. Indiana's.
And especially Indianapolis. They got 800-something thousand people. I didn't realize how big it was, but they got 800-something thousand people, and they had their little thing going on this 4th of July that wasn't so good. But other than that, for the city, it's really a lot better as far as when depending on what your values are, of course. But I grew up surrounded by about 75% of my close people are liberal. So especially in this new funk that I'm getting in now, kind of just being a free thinker. It's been hard, but depending on how things go up north of here, I'm just 2 hours down south. Depending on what happens in that Chicago area in the future, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stick it out. So
makes sense.
Iowa and Indiana are my top 2 lookout states to just live that simple life. I don't mind being lame.
I'm not. That Iowa's too daggone cold, man.
Depends on where you go. I mean, Des Moines is a little bit colder, even though it's right down I-80 from Chicago, it is still a little bit cooler sometimes, but still, I would prefer it. But yeah, that's what's going on here in Illinois, man. Totally different breed the further south you go in Illinois.
Oh, I believe it.
I love the cold.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
like the
I do
cold, Crystal?
too.
I love the cold. Listen, I'm a cold. Listen, I pray that Atlanta gets a nice winter this year. That's
So you were so you were happy about that snow they got last winter.
Yes, absolutely.
You and Pastor Philip.
Yes.
I remember you saying Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell's your there goes my coworker. Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell's your pastor. That's a blessing to hear.
Yes, he is. I love him.
I'm with First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ, led by Gino Jennings now, but I have always admired.
I like Gino Jennings.
Yes, I love him. I love him. I got to meet him in North Carolina this past and South Chicago. But anyway, I remember Pastor Philip saying that he likes the cold. He did not want to come to Atlanta for mainly the reasons that you and Mr. Jay Witt were describing. So it's interesting that you share that commonality and you both ended up in Atlanta.
Yep, exactly.
Because it was a hot summer down there. We're running down there all the time in the southeast region. It was hot.
It was very hot this
year. It was hot. Yeah, and so was Illinois. It wasn't much different, unfortunately. But yeah,
it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
All right, well, appreciate you pulling up, man. Be safe out on the road.
Appreciate you for having me. It's all. Hey, you know what? This is probably my top channel I ever listened into. I listen to Anton Daniels a lot too. But if I had to prioritize one, it'd be the ARP morning show, man.
Oh, I love
appreciate that, man.
Yep. Yeah, I love being here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey, I'm gonna be emailing you real soon. I'm supposed to be at the Northeast convention at the headquarters temple with our church here coming up soon. So I should have enough time to run down 95 to Baltimore. Hopefully, do a little something over there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So make sure you get all of them hood rats out of there first, though.
I can't do nothing for you on that one, bro. We just gotta learn how to weave around.
Hey, I'm always in and out of St. Louis and Chicago. I know how to deal with it.
Oh, I'm sure you do. You know, especially out in those areas. Sheesh.
Oh yeah.
Well, appreciate you,
all
brother.
right, man.
Yeah, hit me up, man. Hit me up when you come down.
Yes, sir.
On your way. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
brother. God
y'all
bless.
take care. Have a good week.
Thanks, man. All right. With that being said, we'll get up out of here. I did not expect to be on here until 12 o'clock today. I said we're gonna jump on here. We'll do like 30 minutes, but you know,
you never do. You never do.
It never happens. That never happens. Shout out to Doc Holliday with the gifting 5 ARP family memberships, and shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guy Jeff. I don't know if I want to talk to Jeff today. He's a Bucks fan, and yeah. But $11 super chat said here in Greenville in the late 90s, it was squalor, boarded up buildings, vagrants, prostitutes after dark, and drugs. Yeah. Shout out to Jeff with the $11 super chat says people started buying the slums, and 20 years later, the businesses return, and downtown Greenville is thriving. Greenville's nice, man. And the leaders are silent, but will scream racism after the progress.
Of course.
That's typical. And shout out to Jeff with the $11 super chat says, no disrespect. I was in Atlanta yesterday for the game, parked 3 blocks from the stadium, stepped over needles, homeless, going to and from the tailgate. Also didn't realize that the state flower was cannabis either.
Absolutely it is. It absolutely is.
Well, they decriminalized marijuana in the city limits anyway. It's not outside the city, but just in the city. And you know, to an extent, man, they got bigger things to deal with than people, you know, burning the tree leaf.
Way
with the craziness going on. They got bigger fish to fry down there for sure.
Way bigger.
But appreciate you pulling up for a little bit, Crystal. I'm glad to see that you're on the mend.
I am on the mend.
You know, on the mend and feeling better. It was also a pleasure to get a chance to chop it up with you, break bread the other day. That's awesome. I told Jason the next time I come down there, man, he says he has a studio, so we'll have to do a in-person show, man.
Oh, I love that. I would definitely love that. I'm glad it was nice meeting you, everybody. Wise is as cool in person as he is online. Definitely cool. Same thing with Jay Witt. It was a lot of fun. Definitely was.
I know. you know, you get used to seeing these screens, right? You see these
Mm-hmm.
people online and stuff, and then you get a chance
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, see. And some people, you know, I've had them. I've been able to meet, you know, because Jeff and I went to the game yesterday together, and
Mm-hmm.
or he came not together, but he came and sat down with me with his ugly orange Bucks gear on and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was a heck of a ball game. Goodness gracious, I'm still upset about
Oh,
that.
no, I can tell
You
that you're
know,
still upset.
I'm still upset about it, you know, and I kind of lost my, I was concerned because I was like, man, I don't know if my voice is going to come back, but it's actually as the day progresses, it started coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't talked to anybody this morning before I jumped on because I didn't get home late until, sheesh, man, it was like 12:30 last night, you know,
Oh
when I got
wow.
home. I took the last flight
Mm-hmm.
out of Atlanta yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how that goes. By the time I got home and kind of started to, you know, I took a shower and started to wind down, it was 1 something in the morning before I went to bed, you know, so.
And then you get up early, so.
And then, you know, getting up early. So, and I got up this morning, though. I turned my alarm off so not to get up early, but I
Mm-hmm.
still got up at like 6:30 or so. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let
Well,
me get up,
you're
try to get the day started. And I still wanted to do this. I wanted to be here for you guys, man. So I wanted to make sure that I can pull up. I said, we're going to do this thing on Monday. We're going to be here. I'll get the rest later.
I
All right.
appreciate that. You know, you are the first appearance that I've made online since I've been sick because
Oh,
I have been like covered up, sweating it out, like sick. And this is the first day that I've actually shown my face on camera anywhere. So, yeah.
well, I appreciate you pulling up and blessing us with
Mhm.
your face. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. All righty. Well, we're going to get up out of here, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Thank you to all my ARP family members and everybody that supported the channel financially today, man. Thank you guys as well. You know, as always, we'll be back at this thing tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lord willing. Keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all. Take care.
Bye.
Vibes so raw.